Okay, good morning, everybody. We seem to have some tech issues here this morning. That screen, there, like it's all dark. That's supposed to be a mic head. There's no mic head going on in there, and I don't know why. Although Mike did share that in his computer the other day, he ran into this. I've never seen this screen before in my life. Your device ran into a problem that couldn't be repaired. It's like, you are SOL, buddy. So, okay. I assume that he managed to figure that out at some point. But I can't seem to get him into the meeting here. I don't know why. It says he's here, but it's just not connecting him. So I'll keep working on this. Mike, if you can hear me, maybe try and completely disconnect Zoom and come back in. It looks like you're here. I see you in Zoom. I've tried to disconnect on my side. I don't know what you've tried. But it says you're here, but I don't see you. I don't hear you. So I don't know what's going on. So good morning, everybody. I hope that you're having a better morning. It's garbage day here. Every Friday I have to take out the garbage. And I went out this morning and oh my God, it is so cold. We have got a cold snap that is happening here in the Northeast, and it is minus 20. I only looked at the temperature after I went outside. Minus 20. That's in Celsius though. So for you Fahrenheit people, that's about minus 4. But I haven't experienced that cold yet this year, and it was a shock to the system. In fact, I was out for maybe 2 minutes taking out the garbage, and that was half an hour ago, and I'm still trying to warm up. It was one of those where, of course, I didn't wear a coat. I'm still going through my wardrobe, by the way, and taking all these old shirts that are at the bottom of the pile of clothes. You know, when you have old sweaters and stuff. Anyways, I'm taking from the bottom of the pile. And I told myself, I'm just going to wear whatever I get from the bottom. This is look at this, old CSC, Computer Sciences Corporation. Whoops, you see the logo there. Matches with the jersey right there behind me. But anyways, actually this was our early logo before they changed to this. We called that that was the SIM card logo. Just because it looked like a SIM card to us. We're like, why the hell did we just change to that from this? Anyways, never mind. All right. Doesn't matter if the company's dead now. But still said, taking clothes that I haven't worn in decades, literally decades. And but let's focus on the markets here. We do have a few things going on. I'm still trying to disconnect and reconnect Mike while we're talking here, and see what that'll bring. Let's look at the economic calendar. There are a couple of things happening, but only later this morning. We've got all these PCE prices that are supposed to be coming out. Still in a lot of catch-up mode. This is September data. It should come out at 10. We also have consumer sentiment at 10, and then consumer credit will come out at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So all of that data hopefully will allow us to get a little bit of data. The market largely continues to totally ignore this data. It doesn't care. The market is just going to do whatever it feels like. Yesterday, we had a fairly modest day, really, at the end of the day, right? Because it showed us a red day. We started green, pushed up a little bit. Let's take a look at a 5-minute chart. You can see yesterday we basically started at the high of the day and chopped sideways. Really not much. Mid-afternoon, we got this one drop, but it came back and recovered by the close. So, more or less we ended up where we started at the end of the day. So it was a little bit of a weird one. Not to say that there weren't things that moved. Yesterday, we did have things that moved over the course of the day. Tesla managed to get itself a little bit higher. People pointing out, no, Netflix didn't go anywhere. Apple was lower. And it's sort of a steady downturn on Apple over the course of the day, and then Microsoft, which I was keeping an eye on from the day before, did nothing until the close when it decided to pop up a little bit higher. So it was one of those days where a few things were moving, some things were not. You just had to be watching the right thing, and there was a potential for a trade. It was a no trade day for me. Despite all of that, everything, I never got a trade. I was watching all day. I never found a single opportunity that I like, so I didn't end up trading at all. And some days, very few, but some days do end up like that where you just do not find a trade opportunity. So for whatever reason, that's what happened. I see Mike gone now. I did reconnect on Zoom. Maybe he'll be able to reconnect. Santis, that is fascinating. He just posted a interesting fact. He said in Siberia, Soviet officers used to filter alcohol by pouring it over an iron bar in minus 40-degree weather. The bad stuff froze to the metal. The good stuff kept dripping. Interesting. I've never heard of that, but all right. There you go. There's alcohol. Although if you're having to filter your alcohol by doing that, you're probably not drinking quality stuff. But if you're a Soviet officer, you're probably not getting paid much for quality stuff. So that might be it. Anyways, all right. Factoid right there. Let's take a look at the gappers list, see what we got. We got a bunch of random stuff that is gapping up and gapping down this morning. Frankly, I don't see a lot to love on this list, quite frankly. Oh, look, Mike's here. Mike's alive. Look, there he is.
I'm alive.
He's alive. And you know what? Sometimes this happens to Carlos and I too, where it's like I'm not connecting and he doesn't know why. I have no idea why it took you 5 times. Fortunately, it worked. So, welcome.
Who knows? It worked. We're here.
And
we're ready
you're
to
now,
go.
You're in the blue room today. I see you got the blue lights going. So,
I know.
So tell us about this machine of death that you had. I've never seen that message in my life.
Oh man, you talk about it. So after we got off the close show yesterday, I was like, okay, let me update my programs, get ready for travel. And I did an update. And as it was going through, it just started this cycle of running into this. It would try to restart. You know how you update and then your computer restarts? It wouldn't restart. And then this came up and I'm like, oh, this is not good. And so I hit enter and it tried to repair it. And then it came to this again. I was like, well, hopefully I can reinstall Windows. And luckily it allowed me to reinstall a local Windows setting, because I think something occurred with the Wi-Fi connection, because it kept saying that it couldn't connect to Wi-Fi. So I spent all night redoing my laptop computer. Reinstalling DAS, reinstalling Google Chrome, all the programs that we use. It was very disheartening.
And it could be. I mean, I am getting reports that overnight and this morning there are various weird little internet outages that are happening. So that could have been what started it. I see ZenTrader saying that there's another Cloudflare outage. I'm not going to fall for that from a trading perspective again. Last time there was supposed to be a Cloudflare outage. I was convinced that Cloudflare as a stock would go down at the open, and it just skyrocketed higher. And I had a loser on that one, and I didn't enjoy that. So we'll see. But for now, our website is up. So I know we use Cloudflare, so that doesn't seem to be a problem that's affecting us. So, anyways, that's good news. All right. Like I was saying. Anyways, let's take a look at what's moving on the markets. We do have quite a number of things here on the list. And like I said, just by looking at the tickers, they're not familiar. That means that we've got a lot of random stuff. I know there was a couple of earnings after the close yesterday we're watching. I don't see them anywhere. Well, that's not true. HPE I see on the gap down list.
Yep.
I know they had earnings. I know DocuSign had earnings as well. So I don't see them on the list. But what I do see on the list is GURE, which frankly I don't love, but let's put this up here. GURE is
it's actually got some pretty interesting news though, Peter.
Okay, well, it's
not
got 2
that I would be trading this, but you ready for it?
I'm ready. Go for it.
They announced that they are finally back in compliance with NASDAQ, and they canceled their delisting hearing.
Okay.
So
yes.
that is positive news.
Okay. So, so this usually happens after a stock, for whatever reason, they fail to submit the proper reports, they fall beneath a price or volume thresholds. There's a number of reasons why you could be delisted from the exchange. It doesn't necessarily mean your company's done anything particularly horrible. It just means you haven't met the requirements that NASDAQ has for you to be listed. They were still trading, as you can see. There was trading every day. During the delisting process, you're allowed, it's usually like almost 6 months often, to resubmit and rectify the issue. So it looks like that they have successfully done that, and the stock is getting a boost. They're up 91%. It's it's got volume, 2.2 million shares here this morning, but Mike, it doesn't look great. It looks like a lot of that volume was earlier. Yeah, not great. Okay, let's move on. The next one that just took over the top spot here is WHLR, Wheeler Real Estate. Now, I have seen this in the past, but it's been quite a while. This is another super low price stock. $3 close yesterday. It's at $6.80 right now, up 111%. 27 million shares. I mean, wow, that's a lot of volume. It's in play. Mike, why are we looking at Wheeler Real Estate this morning?
I think because it just released its earnings. Trying to find where it is. It also did a reverse stock split on the 28th. So I'm trying to see if,
look at this,
because I had to reset everything. Yeah, it's crazy.
Look at this. So you go back in time. Oh my God. I mean, how many reverse stock splits have they done? In 2022, according to their chart, they were trading at $8.4 million a share. Now, we know that that's not true. So what that usually means is they've had so many reverse stock splits, right? That that brought the price in. Like they have had to done that means that they've done something like 100,000 to 1 at some point or something like that. Like to have had that sort of chart-based price. That is a crazy chart. And like you have to zoom in to get anything off of it.
Yeah. So if you want to be a speculative investor, a speculative trader this morning, go for Wheeler. If you actually want to possibly protect your capital account, you can choose something else.
Yeah, that's nuts. All right, well that might be something we could watch for fun, but I certainly am not going to put any serious attention to it. So let's move on. SMX is the next thing that I have on my list here. It's got almost 1 million shares, 900,000 shares, 97% increase. This one, at least, it's at a reasonable price here, but it has been. Looks like it was getting up yesterday. I don't remember looking at it yesterday, and now it's up even higher today. Why is this one running?
Yeah, so really the news was back in December 1st. So you can kind of see there on the daily how it kind of popped up a little bit. And that's because they signed a $1 million deal, the purchase agreement that's extended them some capital. So I think some people are starting to invest in it. There's a lot of speculation, though, around this company as well. So nothing. I'm not going to be trading this. I mean, look at the bid-ask spread right now. 3.4 million. It's hard to borrow. Like
3.4 million. $3.40.
Or yeah, $3.40. Sorry. It's been a rough day.
Yeah, it's been one of those days. All right, but yes, I agree. It doesn't look great, and that spread is scary. And I mean, acknowledging it's pre-market, it still shows that it's not active enough that, despite the volume, that we'd want to jump into it. All right, so SNSE is the next one I see on my list. So it is Friday, which means we're going to get a few of these biotechs. Is Sensei Biotherapeutics. Up 19%, 400,000 shares traded. It doesn't look good. If I look at a sort of a 5-minute chart, it's spotty. The volume, not looking
no
great.
News.
Okay.
Nothing.
Then you know what? Here we go. Let's put this one in the truck, and we'll send it out. You said it's garbage day here for me, so why not? I got stuff to take out today. All right. That brings us to GLHL, Lion Group Holdings, 2.4 million shares, up 18%. This is another one that it closed below $4 yesterday. It's at $5.18. $5 is one of those marks, by the way. I always look, if something's below $5, immediate warning signs that it's probably just a crappy stock. Usually things don't trade very well below $5 because you don't get any institutional trading. You don't tend to get that stabilizing volume. But anyways, LGHL. Any news on it, Mike?
They are investing in Bitcoin with $10 million.
Ugh. All right. I'm moving on.
There you go.
Yeah. Ugh. All right. Rubric Inc. We have seen this before, but not consistently. Oh, it's up 18%. Only 300,000 shares. They're getting worse as we're going down the list here. I don't like the look of this one either.
Not a good looking stock, but it did have earnings. It beat on earnings per share and revenue. But as far as trading wise, looks ugly.
Okay. All right. Well, then, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to move on. Scanning down our gappers list here, I'm just trying to look and see what else we've got. How about Warner Brothers? Why they've been under rumor of sale or being bought for a long time now. It looks like they jumped up this morning. More rumors or news, or are they?
Actually, this is going to be one that is also impacting one of our gap downs. So Netflix and Warner Brothers secured a deal where Netflix is acquiring them for $72 billion in cash and stock shares. So that's what's upping Warner Brothers and bringing down Netflix today.
Okay.
And to Jared's point, I like it because we're below $100, so we're gonna find a nice entry point for a long-term hold on Netflix today.
Oh, this is right. You've been saying that for a while, that you're waiting for that sub $100 price to get your purchase. So, and everyone out there, if you haven't sort of watched acquisitions, this is typically the way it happens. The company that's buying, the acquirer, usually drops in price, and the company being acquired, price usually goes up because they're usually being bought at a premium, and it's net accretive to the company being acquired. And then the company buying, of course, bears all the cost and risk of integration. There's going to be some people that think that they're overpaying. And I know that there was a lot of competitors for this one. A lot of people were vying for it. I didn't think that Netflix was in the top spot, but apparently they sealed the deal. Yeah. So, all right.
They beat out Paramount and I forget the other company.
Skydance? Was it?
Yeah, Skydance. Paramount wanted it.
Yeah. So, okay. Maybe, we can throw both of these on the list. Again, whether you want to play the one that's going long or short, Netflix might be the better play here today. It's tough to tell, but we can keep an eye on both of these. I'm going to put them both on our list, so at least we can keep an eye on them. So there you go. All right, so that's good. From a gap up perspective, Mike, that's really all I want to talk about from the list. Anything that you've got that we haven't covered?
No. I mean, even I kind of, you'll notice Baidu's in there, and that's a Chinese stock that I kind of looked at it, but it's not trading well. Like you don't want to touch that. It was up on some AI chip news, but I'd stay away from it. Nothing really nice on the gap up list.
Meta, Microsoft. I'm just going through some of my common ones. How about NVIDIA?
Yeah.
NVIDIA's got decent volume today, 3.4 million shares, but it's pretty much flat. It's right at the close price. Yeah. So, okay. So not much going on there. Okay. Well, then why don't we take a look at the gap down list? We'll see what we've got going on here. Here I've got a few things that I recognize. I mean, look at this. This PLRZ has been on our list, either on the gap up or the gap down all week.
I'm telling you, Peter, somebody's taking a stake in that stock because it's just off the nasal news. Like somebody wants to be invested in nasal spray.
Well, it's been there all week, as you can see, and I still have not found a good trading opportunity. I did keep an eye on it yesterday because I couldn't find anything else to trade, so I thought, why not? I'll flip back and forth between it, and I still didn't like it. So yeah, I doubt that today is going to be the day that's going to change my mind. So why don't we move on? The next thing that's on the list is something called ProTerra Therapeutics. Again, it's Friday, which means we see more of these biotech therapeutic type companies. Down 19% on just about 400,000 shares. Although if you just look at a 1 minute chart, you can't see it. It looks awful.
Public offering yesterday.
Oh, secondary offering right into the truck. We don't even have to talk about it. All right. So that brings us... That brings us to HPE, which I know did have earnings after the close there. Actually, I was talking about this company, my old alma mater. Part of the commercial business I used to work in got partially sold to HPE way back in the day, so about, I don't know, probably 10 years ago now. Anyways, so it looks like HPE didn't have a good earnings report.
No, well, it had a mixed earnings report. Beat on earnings per share, missed on revenue, didn't have good guidance. Therefore, stock plummets.
Okay. Well,
that's how it works. Like, you can cover up a bad earnings report if you're optimistic in your guidance, but when you're doom and gloom, why stay in the stock? Run as fast as you can in the opposite direction.
Run. And as you guys can see here off of the daily, we got tiny little daily candles. They trade decent volume. The 27 million shares is enough, but it really doesn't do much. If we flip to a 5 minute, you can see where all the activity happened, right? Most of the volume, and that happened right after the close when the earnings were announced, and now we're just sort of trundling sideways. This is typical. It's not a great trader, so I think it's something we can skip over. The next one I see on the gappers list here is Sentinel-1. Just S is their ticker, one of those rare one-letter tickers. Usually it's only here because of earnings, but I don't... Yeah, it must be. Look at that drop after the close yesterday. I assume that's what happened.
Yes, earnings. And every time I hear the word Sentinel, I think of the Matrix. I'm just like, it's the Matrix. So interesting is this company blew out earnings, like blew them out. Earnings per share, revenue. Company gave great guidance leading into the future. But the CFO said, I'm out of here. Peace. So nobody liked that. There it is. It's the Sentinel. See, that's what I think of.
That's what Mike's thinking of as we're talking about this one. So
maybe that Sentinel grabbed the CFO and extracting her from the Matrix. I don't know, but she is leaving, and they don't like that. So that's what caused the big drop.
I don't think that's going to give a trading opportunity. So I'm going to move on. Next on the list is SoFi, SOFI, SoFi Technology. Good volume, great volume here. 7 million shares traded. It's down 7%, but again, most of that happened. It looks like after the close yesterday.
Offering.
Really, it looks like an earnings.
Nope. But, public offering.
Okay. All right. Well, but look at all the action happened when it dropped here. Like right now, even if I zoom in on a 1 minute chart, this looks like it's just algos trading against each other. Does not look good. So that's not something I want to get involved in. That brings us to the other one that I was watching for earnings from yesterday, which is Docu. DocuSign, again, dropping after their earnings report after the close yesterday. I assume that they either had a mixed or a bad report, Mike.
I didn't see them. Are they on the? I don't have them, so I didn't look them up. But that's.
Oh, okay.
I'll try them. I didn't look them up
What
because
did
I
I
didn't
just do?
realize that they. I figured you were watching them, so let's
Okay.
see what the earnings says here. Earnings snapshot. Income of 40 cents and $1 per share. So looks they beat on revenue.
Okay.
And
That's something.
Yeah. And beat earnings per share. So
Okay.
probably had bad guidance.
Yeah, I guess so. They're not.
Yeah.
The volume's very low in this. Just barely makes our 200,000 share threshold. So I don't think that's going to be one that we'll keep an eye on. On the list here, I'm seeing a bunch. I see OKLO, which normally moves with government news, being a nuclear stock.
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing some of the precious metals or the rare earth metal stocks on here. Is there some news coming out of the White House?
No news, but
Okay.
OKLO did enter into an equity distribution agreement for 1.5 billion common stock shares. So,
So it sounds like a secondary?
yeah,
type thing?
it's some type of secondary offering, something.
Okay.
That's another stock. I'm so sad that I didn't get in a year ago at like $20. I was having too much fun in the Dominican. I'm not making that mistake with Netflix, so I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah, it was.
I remember being in the Dominican Republic. If you look back in December, I was like, oh yeah, I need to get into this stock. And I just never did.
Well, you would have had a ride because if it was back in December of last year, it would. Yeah, it went from 20 up to 60, back down to 20. And then, of course, all the way up with that spike at 180 there. So you could have had quite a ride.
I had two opportunities too. March, April, could have got back in, and again, just didn't.
Well, maybe this is your chance to get in on some of the auto manufacturers. The White House was busy talking about their investing in.
I'm already in Ford.
Okay, all right.
I have Ford at $1.98.
Oh, wow! You must have been in a while ago then.
February of 2008. 2008. Financial.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's going back that's too much work to get back that far in my chart. All right. Okay then.
Too much.
Well, Mike's been hanging in there for a while. That's good. Guys, if I go back to the gappers list on the gap down, like I said, a whole bunch of stuff. We already talked about Netflix, which I see on the list. A lot of the rest of this, look, it's a lot of the usual stuff that tends to pop up here. I see some of the Bitcoin related stocks here. What are Bitcoin prices doing this morning? We got to look at those. Looks like we're hanging on to 90,000. Just barely, $90,570 right at the moment. And that's a drop. It was sitting at about 92,000 for the last couple of days, and we're back down again. So nothing major, but still, any decline is not good. This Bitcoin and crypto in general, it's not getting any boost over the last couple of months, really. It looked like it was going to do well in September, and then October it sort of did this last gasp higher, and then it's been dropping ever since. So, yeah, not great. If you're in crypto, especially if you're one of those treasury stock companies that decided you're going to try and do that thing. That's not playing out well for you. So, all right, this is what we got this morning. Again, the markets are both marginally green, but not a lot happening. It is a Friday. we can usually get slightly lower volumes. And we don't have, like I was saying earlier, in cases before anybody joined, not a lot of economic data. 10 o'clock, we do have the PCE numbers coming out, consumer sentiment at 10, and then consumer credit at 3. So, again, Friday-type stuff. Pretty low. Yeah. What are you guys watching out there? Anything we haven't looked at that you want us to take a look at? I see Jared. He's already got his list, and we were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? iRobot. iRobot is on his list. It had yesterday was sort of a really flat day, but 2 days ago it had popped up. Yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily going to do anything today, but good volume this morning, 6.8 million shares. It actually looks better than I would have thought. That might be worth watching. Anyways, all right, there's iRobot in case anyone else is looking at that. What are you guys recommending here? Alfredo, you're looking at Meta. I did take a quick peek at that. Didn't look like Meta was doing anything extra special. 800,000 shares traded. It's only up a 0.25 percentage point. That's there. Prasad, you're looking at COO? COO, what the heck's that? The Cooper companies.
Cooper?
Okay. Cooper.
Is that like a real estate that owns? I know Mr. Cooper owns like all my home loans.
I don't know. It's COO. I don't know that I've ever seen this company before. The Cooper Companies, Medical Instrument Company.
Nope.
Apparently is what they do. It's a global consumer-centric medical device company. Okay. All right. 3.9 billion in global revenue. Good for them. All right. Well, it doesn't look great to me. There's really absolutely no trading volume this morning, so I'm not going to look at that. Chip is watching you. This is another one of those rare one-letter tickers. Unity Software is one that has popped up on our list. Off and on for a while. They were heavily involved, weren't they, with the software for the Oculus and the Meta space. Yes. Maybe they don't seem to be suffering with the announcement from Meta that they're cutting in their funding there, but
nope.
Maybe that's already baked into their price. I don't know, but I don't see much happening on Unity. How about on YouTube? What are you guys watching out there? Hopefully you're watching that thumbs up button and giving it a click. But
I forgot to.
How about Apple? I see somebody mentioning Apple here. What's Apple up to? Obviously it was at all-time highs earlier this week. It's fallen off a little bit, but still, up in a good range, sitting at $280. It looks pretty slow today. Not a lot of volume, not a lot of movement, so not much happening there. Ajit, you're mentioning Neo, really? I saw XPEV on the Gap up list, but I just ignored it, frankly. Neo is another one that I tend to ignore. Look at this. Go to a 1 minute chart. You can see it even more clearly. This is what I call a barcode stock, and that tells you that it's trading within a one penny range. It's only the computers that can trade within a penny spread. So if that's happening, you really want to avoid it. There's really not a lot you can do as a retail trader. You're likely just to get stuck in this thing. I personally just completely ignore anything like that. In fact, I just dump them right here into the garbage truck. So yeah. But hey, if maybe you have a theory or an approach to trade them. If you do, then it's all yours. All right. A couple of your hymns, Hood and MP. Yeah, I saw MP on the list as well. It was on the gap down list here this morning. Oh, no, it's gapping up. Sorry. Thought I saw it. I saw it on one of the lists. Anyways, 500,000 shares. Doesn't look great to me. How about Robin Hood? I see that's also being mentioned. We'll take a peek on that one. 300,000 shares. Again, not much happening on it. Robinhood could be a decent trader when it decides to get going. Again, I don't know that today necessarily is going to be that day, but if it does, I'm sure you'll let us know. So, and you want us to look at, Albert is wanting us to look at ARM Holdings. Okay, let's take a look at ARM. What's ARM doing? Oh my God, not much. Yeah. 53,000 shares traded. So there's really no volume on it. It's been on moving higher on the daily chart. If I look at this daily, it's not badly positioned, but this looks more like a swing trading type stock to me than something you could actively day trade. And if I look at a 5-minute for what it was doing yesterday, I mean, this doesn't, not good range, not good price action yesterday. So nothing there. All right, last one I'll take a look at. I see Bader is mentioning Walmart. What's Walmart doing? 2.6 million shares. That's more volume than I would expect. But frankly, if I look at a 1-minute chart, where is it? I don't see the volume anywhere here. Walmart is not doing much. A lot of that volume looks like if it did happen was right at the close yesterday. It is. Wow, look at it on the daily. Look what Walmart's been up to. It's been just
grinding
going
away,
grinding higher. Is this all-time highs? Yeah, it looks like it. Wow. Why is Walmart at all-time highs? I think so.
Because everybody's shopping for cheap stuff now.
I don't know, but
wow.
Walmart.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, look at them. The last 2 weeks, they've just been pushing higher. Slow and steady. If anybody got into that's been a good, again, a good swing type trade, a buy and hold. Intraday, I'm not sure that it. I mean, I don't like it. It's one of those ones that I cannot figure it out for the life of me. So I usually avoid it. But yeah, there might be. I mean, the volume's there, so it might be worth watching. You let us know if it decides to take off. Okay. I think that's good. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, actually, yeah, Will, thank you for that. You're mentioning Path. Path was one of those ones that yesterday, it was just, look at that day yesterday. It was just slow and steady all day. You guys mentioned it pre-market, and I said, I don't think so, and I didn't put it on my list, and it looks like I was wrong on that. I mean, it wasn't exciting trading, but hey, green is green. Like, if you got into this long at any point during the day and just held on, you were golden, because this thing just kept climbing all day. So it was just a slow, steady mover right into the close. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to trade well today. That sort of slow, steady move can often mean it takes a breather, especially going into the weekend. But it was a great move yesterday. So if you caught it, then congratulations. And yeah, it's I'm still not putting it on my list for today, but I will admit I was wrong yesterday. We probably should have watched it because it did move. All right, that's what I've got. Mike, I guess we can take a look. It's a Friday, which means normally we don't have a lot of events happening out there in in the Bearable Trading community. But let me pull up the webinar page. You can let us know what's happening, because we do have something happening from boot camp that's worth talking about. So, or do we?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
What happened to your screen? It's all gone. Anyways, I'll use this one. Okay. So
it should be on the screen there
today. Yeah. Again, computer issues, right? Like, I don't know why I have a black screen in the chat room anymore. I don't know, but I'm not touching anything. I can see it.
Okay.
But yes, boot camp today at noon Eastern. I'll be holding a boot camp preparation meeting. What this meeting is for our members that have signed up. It is to help you get ready for boot camp. I'm there to answer questions to help you draft your trading plan, get your trading platform set up, answer any questions you may have about the anxiety of what does boot camp offer, how do we run boot camp, what can you do to prepare. So that is what we do. In this meeting, if you show up, I will go over exactly what we're looking for, and then I will also help you individually depending on where you're at in your preparation process.
Awesome. That's a very valuable thing, because you can't be over prepared for this boot camp. It's intense. Just ask anybody that's taken it. There's a lot of work, right? We give you lots of opportunity to develop your trading skills, and usually people get a little overwhelmed. So, but it's just because there's so much information we want to impart to you over the 3 months. So yeah. Do that prep session if you're signed up for boot camp. It's well worth the time. If you want to join us in the community, we've got a number of options. You notice our sales are over, so back to our regular pricing. The intro offer has always been there, and it's one that is really valuable if you want to just kick the tires on the community. See if it's the place for you. Every different community's got a different look and feel, and ours is one that hopefully would resonate with you. We'd love to have you as part of the community. And he said, if you want to just join in, the $39, you can't beat that price. You get 1 week access, gives you access to the onboarding class, and really gives you a feel for what it would be like trading with us every single day. So, and we have thousands that do. Hopefully you will join them and be part of that community. We'd love to see you there. If you want to just join, we've got the other packages, of course, the basic and elite monthly, and then the elite annual package that is available for you as well. Any questions? Email us. We'd love to answer your questions and make you feel comfortable. So there you go.
Yes.
And by the way, if you're out on YouTube, don't forget, give us a thumbs up. Those likes really help the growth of the channel, and we appreciate it. If you want, you could even join the Lambos and Garbage Trucks group, and then you can be part of some of the special deals and giveaways. We were sharing earlier how we had one of our members that joined that got that free trip to Thailand. So they were there. We'd put their picture up. So congratulations to them. They're just finishing their time in Thailand. In fact, I don't even know, is the group still trading live? It is Friday. It'd be Friday night for them. So I imagine that they're not trading today. But if anybody's actually there in Thailand, in the room.
I see Andrew and Brian posted.
Yeah, but are they in the room or are they in their hotel room? I'm curious as to where they're at, but whatever. I mean, they are here, so good for them. And, as I said, they're finishing up what is a fantastic week. Every report was that they had just a blast. If you're following them on social media, they put up a little bit of a video and sort of a recap of what was going on. So that was pretty nice to see. I was showing my wife, and I'm like, see, this is what we missed.
I know, right?
But oh well, what can you do? It was a great session, and there will be another one. We don't know where, we don't know when, but we will put on another one for sure because we like the travel too much not to do it, and we love meeting up with our members. So I'm sure there's going to be another opportunity. All right, let's get back to the trading activities, and we'll set some levels here as we've got about 10 minutes before this market open. I only had a few things that I put on the list. I think the best of the lot is probably Netflix. It is gapping down here below the $100 mark, and Mike has been waiting for this for quite a while. He targeted it. He said he's looking for that level, so we know what his number is. He's going to be watching that whole dollar number at 100 if it gets there. How low can it go? Really don't know here. It's been a while since we've been down in the space. Probably February, March is the last time we were here. So certainly I see it hit a high of day here at 99.87. Well, that's basically $100. So we know we need to watch the full dollar. So that's good. There is a gap that was here back in January. I'm going to watch that area around $95. If it hits that, I'll certainly be keeping an eye on it, because if it hits there, then it could go lower and drop all the way down to about 90. Whoops. I see the spike here is at 91. Let's put a level right there. And I don't think it's going to get way down here. I don't think it's going down to the 80s, but we'll keep an eye on it. A lot of shares traded hands in this space here. So yeah, I think there's a couple of levels down here we can keep an eye on. Let me just zoom in on that part of the chart. I think 94.20. I'm going to move my level right there to 94. 94.25. I'll leave it right there. So that'll give me some advance notice if we get down there. I don't know if we're going that much lower, but we might. I'll be watching it at the open to see what we do. And the other side of that coin, of course, is Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is gapping up this morning as they're the ones being acquired. Mike, did you say was it a cash or stock deal?
It was a mix, so cash and stock.
Okay, so that means that the upside potential may be limited on Warner Brothers because if it's cash and stock, part of their price is going to be linked to the Netflix price, right? So the cash is good. They get that in the bank. That'll be priced in. However, the stock means that if the Netflix stock drops too much, the value of the acquisition drops a little bit, right? Because of that conversion. So that makes Warner Brothers slightly less attractive. If it was all cash, usually you can sort of judge the price of that, and then the stock price would move up to the dollar value. But here, because it's a mix, it's unlikely to move quite as aggressively. Probably most of that move's already been priced in, I would think, for today. However, we don't really have a lot of levels to set on this because it'll depend on what happens with the with the Netflix stock price at this point. So we'll see where it goes, but Netflix to me is the better one to watch. And the other one that we had on here, which is just your super high risk, low float type stock, which is this WHLR. As we can see, this is the one that's gone through like a million for one a reverse split type thing. It's up here 66% at the moment, but it was as high as almost $8 earlier. It's now sitting at $5.50. That shows you just how volatile it is. And look at this, over the course while we've been talking, even in the last half an hour, it's dropped from $8 to $5. So keep in mind, it was a $3 stock yesterday. That means it's dropped more value in the last half an hour than it even had as an entire company yesterday. So super volatile. Be careful if you're going to trade it. I don't think there's any relevant levels, frankly. This is one you just watch the price compared to what it's done pre-market, and you might get some indications. It's tough to tell whether this is going to pay attention to any technical level whatsoever, so not even worth setting. All right, that's what we've got here. Let's go over and take a look at what our moderators are watching. I'll let Mike give us the rundown as some of them are getting their lists in right now. Here they are.
All right. So Jared was first in this morning. He's watching Netflix, SoFi, OKLO, and iRobot. Nathan's watching the Mag 7 futures at AMD. Megan's watching OKLO and Netflix. Thor's watching Apple for a long off S4, Amazon for a short off R3, and then ES and NQ. Andrew's watching SoFi, Tesla, NVIDIA, and Netflix. Also, OKLO. Brian is Tesla, Netflix, NVIDIA, Amazon, Q, SPY. Phil is our last one in with NVIDIA, MSTR, AMD, and Netflix.
Awesome.
And that's what we got.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Mike. Oh, well, my camera's frozen. There we go. I'm back. Let's. We're getting ready here. We've got just under 10 minutes, about 9 minutes to the open. So I said it's pretty quiet today. Not a lot happening. Just keep in mind on the economic calendar, once again, the only data I'm looking at is this consumer sentiment and PCE data that's coming out at 10. Don't expect much of a market reaction to that, but we'll be ready for when that comes out. I think we didn't talk at all really about the regular ones. Netflix, NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, always on my list. NVIDIA is probably the best of them. It usually is at this time of the morning, but that's not saying a lot. It's not doing all that much this morning.
They're all pretty flat this morning. The Mag 7s, they're just kind of so.
Yeah. So we'll see. That can obviously change when the opening bell rings, but right for the moment, it's looking fairly quiet out there. So Netflix is the one that I've got a strategy on. I'll be looking to see if this pops higher, back to that $100 level, and then I'd be looking for a sell-off. That's my expectation at this point. However, I'll be ready because it could be that investors, the deep pockets, when the opening bell rings, thinks that this is an overdone. Don't forget, it closed at 103 yesterday, so we've got about a $4 upside for it to get to the break even, and it could be that they bring it back there. I really don't know. I'll just be watching and see what the price action dictates, and I'll be using, of course, Trading Terminal. And I got to give the little plug
Atlas.
Here. Exactly.
Atlas.
We've got a whole bunch of tools here in Trading Terminal that are awesome. And if you haven't ever used Trading Terminal, it's worth going to check it out. It's built by traders. It's one of Andrew's projects. He's spent a lot of money and time on this. He and the development team and Mike are deeply involved, and it's a great tool. The Atlas tool is one that gives you the visualization of market data, and it really gives you the opportunity to sort of see where the different orders sit and where the price might likely go based on where people are putting their orders. So if I call up Netflix here, for instance, right now we can see there's not a lot of orders sitting there. 95 is the next level of big order pools, but that could change. That will change when the opening bell rings. So I'll be keeping an eye on this Atlas tool. It gives me a good visualization of what's going on. So you might want to give that a shot as well, and you can get that and so many other functional tools from it that it's absolutely worth checking out. So that's what I'll be doing as the opening bell sounds. And let's I said we saw Andrew and Brian at least communicating here in the chat room, so I assume that they'll be taking over there. Just waiting to see if they're connect. Once they connect, we'll disconnect from all our friends at Bearable Traders. We'll stick with, of course, everybody out here on YouTube. And
just let Jared know. Hey, Jared, I got my Schwab account up, ready for Netflix at the open.
They are. There they are. And they're busy talking, but they're not talking to the chat room. All right. I see their lips moving. You guys have to connect your microphones into the chat room if you're going to talk to them. All right, we'll leave the chat room to them. We're going off to YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. They're there. All right.
They are there.
Okay, Mike. Netflix, I think you're right. It's probably the best candidate. Now, you said you're looking for a long-term hold potentially on Netflix. Yeah. Other than being under 100, have you got a target, or are you going to just wait and see what happens?
I'm just basically at the open. I'm going to take a position once. If it sells, I'll just watch it sell off until.
Right.
But I think it's going to have at the open, I think we're going to start moving up shortly. Mm-hmm. So I am not making the same mistake that I've made with Tesla, looking for a specific price.
Okay.
Like Jared talks about, this is a long-term hold. It's an area. My area is $100.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
So on
the other hand, I'm going to be looking to get some money off of it today. If I can, get the entry I'm looking for. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't run into a lot of buyers like you who are pushing it higher.
Yep. And I think you're going to have John join you here shortly for the trading.
Okay.
I have a non-trading event that I want to go to this morning here in Kansas City. So, it is the World Cup draw today, and they're doing an event down at KC Live.
Okay,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, and the first 1,000 people that get in have a pretty cool soccer scarf that they're giving away. So
I have a lot of footy scarves from Australia because we used to go see footy games all the time. My son was collecting them as we went, so that was a big thing. Footy being a winter sport in Australia, winter of course being a relative term in Australia, but in any event. Okay, well that's cool, Mike. Yeah, you'll have to send us some pictures. Let us know how that goes. That sounds like a neat event.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be neat. So I'm just waiting until John joins, and then
all right,
and the market opens, and I press my buy order on Netflix.
It's good for me to know that he's joining because I'll have to look for him because I'll have to enable him here on a camera. Otherwise, he'll be out there and wondering why we're ignoring him. So. He's not connected yet, but I'll keep an eye for him.
He said he was this morning, so this wasn't even a John thing like yesterday saying it, and then he forgets about it. He said it this morning.
All right.
So I believe him.
Okay. All right. Well, I said I'll keep an eye out for him. We'll see if and when he joins. I'll keep this over here. Okay. Netflix is what I'm keeping the closest eye on. Of course, I've always have Tesla and NVDA and my good buddy AMD up on the chart, so I'll watch those. Not a lot else, as you can see from my list, that I really wanted to watch. I'll watch this WHLR just because I know that some people are like the low floats. It seems to be one of the more active of the low floats. We did talk about that SMX, which is the largest gainer of the markets today, but it's up 97%, but I don't like it. And that other one with the GURE, yeah, I don't like the look of that either. So Gulf Resources. Yeah, Netflix it is. Netflix it is.
Yeah, that's what I'd be watching. I like it.
So.
Warner Brothers, I don't think you're gonna have.
No, it doesn't seem to me like it's likely to move quite as well. I'll keep an eye on it just in case, but yeah, it's less likely to give us a good move, I think. So
Yeah.
But yeah, now we got 1 minute to the open, and yeah. All right, I know that Brian and Andrew are watching Netflix as well, so we'll see what they do. The so-called, like Carlos likes to say, the Andrew indicator is we got to watch what Andrew's trading. Keep him in mind because he is right so much more often than he's wrong. So it's never a good idea to trade against Andrew. And the other thing that Carlos would tell us if he was here, it is a Friday, which means, guys, you want to stick to your rules. Whatever you do, right? Don't go crazy. Don't start trading, out of sync with your own rules. You don't want to go into this weekend just regretting the trades you took and regretting your actions. So just stick to your rules. Win or lose, at least you can say, look, I followed my rules. It just didn't work out. Some days are like that. But you can at least have some data. Here's the opening bell, guys. We are good to go. Netflix is dropping initially. Now getting a little support. Let's see what we get. The orders have started to populate a little more to the downside than the top side, but not significantly. So, yeah, we'll have to see where we go on this. I don't know where Netflix is going. It's not doing anything. I'm gonna take a small starter entry with a prep to take more if it pops up. Oh, but it's moving down. I am
now an official owner of Netflix at 97.98. 97.98.
Okay.
Yay!
All right. Well, I did. I got a terrible fill. I tried to take a partial on Netflix here on this order, and I got a terrible fill on it. And if it comes back up, so it just stopped me out. So there you go. Really quick trade on Netflix. We'll see if it goes higher. It didn't really give me the pull up that I was looking for my my Rising Devil trade to work very well. So I'm just gonna wait and see here. I may be losing the opportunity to go lower, but I don't want to take a lot of risk on this thing because I don't know where it's gonna go. So glad I did get out as it's popping higher. Andrew is going long on.
He's going long. I see.
Long Tesla. That's what he's doing. All right, Netflix is popping higher. So Mike's long-term hold of Netflix is already paying off. Oh,
right, long-term.
Sorry, I spoke too soon.
You spoke too soon, Peter.
Yeah.
Nah, it's okay.
I am
good. I'm happy.
I'm still hoping for a move lower. The trading terminal, the market atlas, does show orders to the downside still, down to 95, but it's tough to know what it's going to do. I sort of wish I'd taken some short at 99, but I'm
Google's
just watching right now.
Up here.
Yeah, Netflix is a little uncertain here. I don't like how well it's holding. Let's see what it does at 99.
John says he's on the call, Peter.
Oh,
You're trading, but
I don't see him. Oh wait, there's somebody called Bearable Traders here. So hold on a
yeah,
sec.
that's probably him.
There he is. Uh-oh.
Hey, John. You're muted, John, if you're.
Oh, hold on a sec. It could be me.
Yeah, what's up,
No,
guys?
no. There he is. I can hear him.
There he is. Hey, John.
I don't see a camera, but
You want all that in a bag of chips, huh? Okay, here we go.
there he is.
Camera.
Look, it's John.
There he is.
It's all John all day. So
All day long.
All right.
Let's get situated. I'm getting here late this morning, so
That's okay. I know, Mike, you're going to
Yes.
go do that event, so we'll let you do that. I'll just do the switch over here. We'll get John in place. Look at your Netflix trade already working out.
I know. I told
Look
you.
at that. Yeah.
Under 100. Wanted it under 100. Got it under 100. I am more than happy.
Beautiful.
So now it's going to play around and do all the thing. And then now that they bought Warner Brothers, they're going to make a whole bunch of money on movies. So now I'm happy about my Netflix subscription that I have that I won't have to get rid of now.
Oh, by the way,
right,
that
everybody.
that show I mentioned to you on Netflix called Last Samurai Standing
Yes.
I did like it. It's awesome, but the 6 episodes are just chapter 1. And it was just produced, which means you got to wait a year for chapter 2. So if you hate those things, I did like it. I thought it was well done, but it's you got to like the sort of kitschy, Japanese samurai movie style thing. But if you like that, you like this. But you're gonna get stuck where now you got to wait a year to find out what happens next.
Terrible. All right. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy, and we'll see you later.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Enjoy that event. I hope you have a good time, and we'll talk to you later. Later. All right, John, welcome.
Thanks, Peter.
I'm glad you're here. Okay. Anything that you're keeping an eye on this morning?
I can't keep my eye off Tesla lately, but that's probably some of my inherent bias and loving to trade this and hoping forever that it goes higher and higher, which is not the greatest kind of bias to have when you're day trading. But
Yeah.
it had a great day yesterday. It's been on a great run, and I think there's more juice left in this. But if you've watched it over the days, it's hard to go get that juice without spilling it all over yourself. You know what I mean?
I love it. Well, way to extend that analogy. That was beautiful.
Thank you. It moves, but it pulls back. It is a rough stock, and you have to take fewer shares than maybe what you could probably afford. You know what I mean? It's just tough.
Indeed. All right. Well, Tesla is it's looking a little choppy here this morning, and it's pushing. So we'll see what it does. Netflix is the other one that we obviously were watching here at the open, and it's pushing higher. Look at this. Mike got a great entry on his long trade, and said he's going to be happy with that. He's already up $3 on it. So I should have maybe reversed my position and gone long. I could have been happily up $3 myself, but I was looking for that short at the open, which I said was in and out pretty quick. See what else we get.
I'm actually in Tesla right now at 455.83. It popped, it retested for a second there, and it's moving up again. I'm going to move my stop to break even, which may make this just a quick break. Yep, there it goes. Break even trade. Yeah, I did get the initial pop correct there, but it didn't want to run smoothly, and it kind of not quite hit the pre-market high, but maybe it's damn, there it goes. Whatever. Explanation over.
I was thinking about jumping in as you said you were getting out.
Damn.
So
it did 2 retests there. There's the man there. There's my one and done right there.
Yeah.
You silly stock. All right. Okay. That's why I hold it long term as well, Peter, so I can rejoice in screwing up these day trades so I can just make money slowly as an investor.
Well, that works. You guys in your investment portfolios, so that's good. Yeah. I don't have a lot of single stocks in my long-term investment portfolio, I have to admit. I'm I invest in very different types of things. Very different things.
I imagine you're much more conservative where you are in
Yes.
life. No reason to swing for the fences.
Yeah.
Honestly, the vast majority of any money I have invested is in boring old mutual funds. And I just go up and down with the U.S. economy, but
Mm.
have a
Well,
few players out there. It's fun to invest in a company like that you believe in and you think, you see something. It's a fun ride, but you gotta be careful how much you go all in on some kind of love affair you have with technology or something.
right. Yeah, that's true. You do have to balance, the reasonable expectation of what the stock can do and separate that from your belief of what the company can do if you're day trading. Investing, go for it. If you believe the future is unlimited, you could be right. All right, NVIDIA is pushing down here so far this morning. It's really, it was just holding the line until it dropped it about 4 or 5 minutes ago. So it's really dropping. And Tesla, you'd be happy to know, wouldn't have given you much. I mean, it did give that initial pop, I guess, but it's right back down here.
I go for $2 moves on Tesla. Like that's what I want to get in aggregate, for an exit. So it would have
Okay.
given me that, but yeah, but there's a good chance, Peter, that took off so well I might have held longer, thinking it was, a killer trade,
Right.
and then it might have. So it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Hard to say. One nice thing about trading the same way every day, though, is you can generally like play out in your head how you would have traded something, even though you didn't trade it, which I find to be very valuable in
Yep.
day trading. Like you've taken so many mountain passes over the years that you can
Yep.
see one you missed, but you know exactly like that's my entry candle. There's a partial right there. I probably would have been
Yeah.
back out at break even there, but you can play the whole thing in your head, and that's very powerful if you're trying to figure out day trading. To stick to one idea and really get intimately knowledgeable with it is really really useful.
Yeah, it is actually, because you can look at a chart after the fact, and there's a lot of times where people say, Peter, is this a mountain pass? Is this a mountain pass? And I can look at it and very quickly say, would I have taken it? Like, did it meet my rules? Because you can fool yourself just because something goes higher or lower. You could just look at it and say, oh, if I just got in here and got out here, I could have made a lot of money. But it's more valuable to look at it and say, would I realistically have actually taken that trade and entered it? Because it's, anybody can look at any chart and say, all I had to do is this and this. But, would you? Would you really? And the answer is usually no. Sneak peek, spoiler alert, the answer is usually no. You probably wouldn't have taken the trade. So it's good to know your rules so you can see the ones, I would have taken this one, I wouldn't have taken these 4 or 5, because that helps you really sort of hone and improve your strategy and say, okay, maybe my rules are too tight. Or the other side, maybe I need to sharpen what I'm looking for. So yeah, it takes a long time to get to that point, but that's what you should be aiming towards.
And it is helpful when we do boot camps and things like that. I'm sure people bring you a lot of mountain pass trades or other trades that you take. People bring me high day break trades, and we can have these really good discussions. And exactly what you said, I'll say, I never would have taken that, or I would have, but I would have entered here, or I would have done exactly what you did. But the conversation can happen so quickly, and it can be so in depth because you have that familiarity. And then once the trader builds up a little bit of a data set too, when you get halfway through boot camp and someone's taken 50, 60 high day break trades, and like we used to really start to have a very good conversation about what's going on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I do like those because, as you say, that's when you can start to have that good, sort of knowledge-based conversation about, well, here's why, here's what I'm seeing, and they can understand, sort of that point of view, and you can help them with their trading strategies. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome. All right, so we got some heavy pullback on a lot of things. NVIDIA is still just going lower here. Look at this. Pretty much all morning. After moving sideways for 4 minutes, it's been dropping ever since. Not super heavy. It looks big on the chart, but keep in mind this is only a $3 move top to bottom here in NVIDIA, so it's not, the sky's not falling here, but it is a down day on NVIDIA. Tesla did come back down here and lost everything that it had gained, right? It's almost came back to the open price. Excuse me. And here we are. And I noticed AMD made this interesting peak where it just sort of went up and then straight down. So,
Yeah, it did. Wow.
it's not much going on here. Whereas Netflix, as expected, Netflix, if it wasn't going to sell off, as I said, the deep pockets are clearly saying they thought that sell-off was a little bit overdone. They've brought the price back up, not all the way to yesterday's close, which was 103.22, but we're getting there. We're at 102 now, so it's in a healthy range here. Don't forget, I mean, Netflix has got so much cash reserves, such deep pockets that they can absorb pretty much any acquisition without too much of a material impact. But even buying Warner
this is
Brothers,
real bad news for them in the long run, right? This is
well,
a good thing for Netflix.
What it does signal, though, it is different. Like for them to buy a legitimate full studio, like running a full studio, is very different than their business that they've done in the past. And I was actually talking about this a week ago on this show. So we're talking about the difference between the traditional producing studios that make the investment and they make it all in their sound lots and they take the entire risk, versus a Google model, to me, which is the opposite end, where they take absolutely zero risk. They produce no content, right? They let everybody else bear the cost of content production and marketing and everything, and they just said, I'll just give you a place to put it up, and then they take all the advertising revenue off of it. So they've got a zero risk model. Netflix is somewhere in between, right? Because they pay producers for their content sometimes. Now they're producing some of their own shows. Now they're getting more heavily into the full production with the studio acquisition. So it's interesting to see where this thing is going to go. But
yeah, you're right. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, they just absorbed a real deal movie studio. And everything that comes with that.
And all that comes with that. If you haven't seen, by the way, what is that show called? The Producers? The one that Seth produced. I think it's called, but ironically, it's on Apple. No, what was that called? Anybody out there remember? I can't remember what it was called. It had all sorts of
Seth
awards
MacFarlane?
and stuff. Yeah. The Studio. Thank you. It's actually a good show. It took me a couple of episodes to get into it. It's Seth Rogen, actually. Seth Rogen.
Oh, Seth Rogen, yeah.
That's the Seth. But it had some great, not even cameos, some great people in it. Catherine O'Hara plays a role in it. One of the bigger roles is actually played by Bryan Cranston, who plays sort of the CEO of the corporation, whereas Seth Rogen plays the CEO, I guess, of the studio that's owned and turned by a bigger company. Zoe Kravitz, she plays a great role. She gets totally high on shrooms. Anyways, there's some good performances in it. So it's worth it. Dave Franco, he plays actually a good role in it too. So anyways, I did like it. So if you haven't seen it, The Studio, I recommend it. All right.
Just had an alert for PLTR go off because I had set some high day alerts that's creeping up there, as is Tesla. They're both, nice little pop there on PLTR. They're both at pre-market high, which is a level you want to watch out for. It's a little bit of a resistance level these days. I'm looking to turn my eyes to PLTR here. Tesla looks good too. This is one of those moments I got two stocks setting up at the same time, and I kind of got to just choose one because you can't really split attention. Hopefully they diverge a bit.
You're not sharing a screen, right?
No, I can.
Okay.
Let me,
you don't have to. It's just if you wanted to, we can see what you're doing too on occasion.
I think I am now.
Yes, you are. Look, I even have it here. Oh, it's the grid of a million.
It's the 12 banger, yeah.
The 12 banger. So this is what, for anybody's not familiar with John's trading, this is what he watches to sort of keep an eye on his key stocks, because it's pretty easy to see if it's doing sort of the move he wants, right? At least at initial blush. I assume you zoom in on another chart when it's getting close to a potential entry.
I do. My execution screen is a different screen, but this is what I'm watching in the morning, and it's not as hard as it looks. Like to a lot of people, they're like, "Whoa, I couldn't do this." But you're looking for stocks going to their highs, and it's not really that hard from a human perspective to just pick out which ones are creeping up there.
Right.
And I'm resetting alerts, by the way, on Tesla and PLTR right now because they both pulled back from pre-market high as the market kind of fizzled out there too. So now those alerts are reset. Yeah, it's really not that bad once you get an eye for it. Again, I could speak for 4 hours giving you reasons why I like to trade one thing and the advantages that come from it. And another one is just the ability to perceive what's happening on more than one chart. If you're just looking for one thing, it becomes easier. Food for thought.
I got people talking about shows. Ian, you're talking Tom Hardy in Peaky Blinders. Yeah, it's I did like his character. Tom Hardy's done some very interesting stuff recently. It's funny because I didn't like him at first when I saw him, like in Inception. Didn't love him, but some of the stuff he's done recently is good. There's that weird, what was that weird? There's a weird show that didn't get picked up, unfortunately. That if you've never seen it, called Taboo. Unfortunately, there's only like one season, and it never got picked up for a second season. So know that you'll never get to the end of it. Really weird, but I actually really loved it. So if you haven't seen Taboo, I recommend it if you're a Tom Hardy fan.
It's always hard when a good show fizzles out fast. My favorite example is a show called Rome, which is probably 25 years old now or 20 years old. It was really good. Went for 2 seasons. I think it was on HBO. It looked expensive to make. It was kind of pre-CGI, and they had to recreate a lot of Roman stuff. It's not cheap.
Right. Probably was. Yeah. There's a lot of those shows out there that just didn't get picked up. Firefly is one of those famous cult classic examples of a show. The Space Cowboys never got picked up. Excellent show, by the way. If you haven't seen Firefly and you like sci-fi, go watch it. But
still watching PLTR here. It's back to near 179 in the pre-market high.
Yep.
The level I want to see it break at least is 179.20, up around there. The high is higher than that, but if you look on a 1-minute chart, it's more like the 179.20 area is the problem area with one particular boost above that. So up and there it goes back down. So what do? We reset the alert yet again, and this is the game. This is why I like day trading, because it's like fishing. You cast your rod, you see what's up, you get no nibbles, you reel it back in, send out your line again,
and cast again. Eh, I like it. I like that. I never thought about that analogy before, but sure. Especially if you're high of day break trading, just like that. Looking at this grid here, yeah, you're waiting to see, right? I guess I do the same thing. It's just for me, it's a longer feed because you're right. I do the same thing in the Mountain Pass. Like I wait for things to get to the all-time high, and then I wait to see if there's a pullback and a retest. And I need that second confirmation. If it doesn't happen, then you're right. I just go back to the well and say what else is setting up, right? So
yeah,
neat.
The alerts going off is like the fish nibbling on the line, and then that's when you know, like, I should check my line. It's nibbling, And now you go check it out and see if you want to yank on it or what.
Yeah. Nice. That Netflix that we were looking at, look at that.
Oh, is it moving?
Just slowly moving higher. So it might get green today even. We'll see. Again, Mike's looking brilliant so far. Anyways, on the long-term trade, getting long. I wish I'd reversed my position, actually, and gone long, because that was a fairly obvious move once it wasn't breaking lower, but I just didn't want to... it wasn't in my head, right? I wasn't thinking that way, so... Go back to John's grid.
Let's see if PLTR wants to move for real this time. Another thing I'm watching is how much it's being affected by the market, and I use the SPY to kind of guess that. So if it looks like it's mostly the SPY pushing PLTR each time, I just remain cognizant of that because that doesn't mean I can't trade it, but it means I'm sort of riding a tide, and I gotta keep an eye on that. And it honestly, for the first 10, 15 minutes, you'll often see stocks be more independent as they sort through whatever news they're dealing with. And then as the day wears on, and it doesn't take too long, you even get 20 minutes, half an hour into the day, you'll see stocks lock in more with what the market's doing.
Gosh, dang it. So like now it's what is it? It's 10 o'clock. So 2 hours ago, I made the mistake of going out and putting out the garbage, and I just ran out like in this sweatshirt and a pair of runners, and I'm still cold. My hands and feet are still cold. Like I can't get warm again. I don't understand. Maybe I need to get the standing desk going. Maybe I'll do that. So at least I'm standing up. But it is
like that recently.
It is minus 20.
Yeah. I had a day like that recently. I was just complaining to my wife, like, I can't warm up. Like, what is going on?
Yeah. Drop and give me 20. Is that what she said? Get you warm?
Yeah.
Give me some jumping jacks.
That sounds about the level of sympathy I'd get for all my complaining.
That's usually what I get. Interesting how it always works that way. Look, there's a real gender thing because it happens for so many people I know. Where I get that sympathy for my wife, but if she's cold, she takes off her socks and then expects me to warm her feet up, and I'm like, well, wait a second. If I tried that, she'd be like, get those things out of here. What are you doing? Anyways. All right. Netflix is getting close here to going green. That's pretty impressive.
Took some PLTR here. It's just stagnating near my entry. Just watching, again, the SPY, which is currently trending up. As long as that continues, I'll probably hold this, but any pullback in the SPY is going to be problematic, and there's a little bit of one. I need a push to the high day, the real high day.
Let's see your grid. Can we see there's this PLTR trade there?
Yeah. I forgot we're on Netflix or YouTube. I got to watch my mouth. Come on, there, PLTR.
Nah, let her rip.
All right, I'm getting out of that. It's just spending too long. There's a real time component to how I trade, and at this time of the morning, you got to expect the breakouts to happen relatively quickly. Like the candle you enter on, or the one after that, and I'm talking 1 minute candles, and it's just not doing that. So I'm just gonna bail out on that. That's pretty close to break even. So now the next time I try PLTR will probably be at the actual high of day and no more messing around with this 179.20 because I'm not reading it particularly well. It's stuck like sticky tape to that pre-market high. Yeah, the cold really swept in, huh, Peter? It's cold here too.
Yes, it did. Sorry, I'm just readjusting my desk and my camera. Get the standing desk going. Screwed up my desktop. Whew. Okay, 10 o'clock, don't forget, guys, we were talking about this on the economic calendar. We do have the PCE data as well as the consumer sentiment. Again, will they have an impact? Tough to tell, but it's good to be aware of it in case you're in a trade. You don't want to get caught unprepared. So that's happening at 10. I'll let you know what that data looks like when it comes out.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out at 10, right?
PC,
the big thing?
PC, yeah, there's a whole bunch of flavors of the PCE data. Still a little bit of data catch-up because they're not... it's not current. It's like September data, I think, is what we're looking for.
Oh, yeah. Delayed reports and personal spending. Yeah, and then you're right. It's a lot of PC, different flavors of PCE.
Yeah. So
So this always stinks when something potentially is setting up around 9:58, 9:59 when data's coming out. I know in my heart the correct answer is don't do it because the worst thing is to get into a high day break trade. It's getting sticky near your entry. You're like, oh, maybe it'll work out, and then the data comes out at 10 and you're wrecked. It could help you, but it's a total coin flip, and I don't really enjoy trading coin flips if I can avoid it.
No, absolutely not. So, all right. Trying to, I got to shut a couple of things down. All right. John's still watching, and probably a good decision. You can see PLTR if we zoom in on that chart. It's just moving sideways here. Hasn't really done much of anything, so not all that exciting. How does that grid come across on YouTube? It's not bad. I guess you guys can see it. We don't normally put up like that many charts, but it's sort of interesting. You can see a whole lot of stuff.
Somebody asked about the resolution. It's a very low resolution monitor, but I'm sitting very close to it. It seems to work out.
Plaster your face right onto it.
Yeah.
All right. See what this economic data says when it comes out, and if the market reacts.
I'm actually going to switch to 5-minute charts here. I do that around 10 o'clock.
Even if the market reacts, remember, sometimes that reaction can be relatively short-lived. The market might pop one direction or another, but don't assume that that's going to be a continuing move. It could, but often it'll just, sort of revert back to where it started from if it reacts at all. So I just don't want anybody to make too big of an assumption. All right, we just turned over. The data did come out. It looks like it came out pretty much on target. So we are within range of all of the data. A little higher on some, a little lower on others. Here's what it looks like. Hopefully it's all populated. 0.2% is the forecast and the real number on the core PCE. The year over year came out at 2.8 versus 2.9, and consumer sentiment slightly more bullish at 55 versus 52 on the scale. So nothing big there. It's pretty close. You can see that if I look at the SPY chart here, to zoom in for you guys, we did get like a pop-up for just a few seconds, and like I said, it reverted right back to where it started from. So that didn't last very long, right? The computers reacted to the data instantly, but said, not much to see here. Resume your previously scheduled activities. So that's my read of it. So
I heard Canada had some good economic data, good unemployment data or employment data.
I don't know. I was skipping over that. Let's see. We did. Unemployment rate dropped to 6.5% from 7%.
Yeah, it's a big jump.
Which is relatively good. And a lot more jobs created. Whereas they're expected to be a slight contraction, we actually created 54,000 new jobs, which, generally you can just multiply everything by 10 to get it relative to a U.S. scale. So good, just rule of thumb.
I never thought of that. That's about right. Yeah,
it's about right.
That's based on population.
Yeah. And GDP. Your GDP is actually a little higher. It'd be more like 15 or something, 12 to 15, I think. But our GDP per capita is lower.
MU's teasing its high of day, but it's right at the previous day high, and tell you that's generally not a good level to trade through, although it's a pretty good looking chart. But yeah, it's usually a good idea to leave that alone. Sometimes you get the little pop through yesterday's high, and then the big rejection starts. It's a tough level. Right. Here comes PLTR again. Looking better for the move. I'm going to try PLTR again and hope I get treated better this time.
So John's jumping in there on PLTR. I'm still keeping an eye here on Netflix. Netflix is interesting in that it came up just under the previous day close, and now look at that. It's just moving sideways. Does not want to go green, but it's certainly not weak. So let's go back to John's charts here. And
so I'm in at 179.29, and what I'm probably going to do here is I'm not feeling like great mojo this morning. I'm going to throw my stop at break even already, which I fully already know. Like, there's a good chance it comes down and retests at the old high a day. That stops me out and it ends the trade. But it is risk free at this point, so I'm just going to do the prayer hands method, where I just hope something good happens. It's a key component of my trade book. It's you put your prayer hands together.
Put your prayer hands.
Come on, baby. But I'm a scared trader. I like to get risk free if I can. It's a good feeling. But it's it's give and take. Sometimes you do get stopped out right at your break even. It bounces and then it takes off. We hit 179.73. So if you watch the SPY right now, my breakout was assisted by two very nice candles. You see them on the Qs as well. And then both of those ETFs are stalling a little bit, and then PLTR is doing the same thing. So there's a linkage. It's not one-to-one, but it does exist. It's best to admit it's there, because I think you're a better trader if you keep an eye on what the market's doing while you're trading. Unless you're trading some wackadoo pharmaceutical, thing, then go nuts.
Let's go. Looking good there, John.
Yeah, it's looking all right. So I'm in my profit zone here. Like, I could take all this right here and just get out, which would be an okay trade. I could try to aim a little higher. I'd have to hit about 180.20 to take half off, and that would kind of hit my minimum profit target. And then I can kind of play with the rest. So this is always the awkward decision point here. Like, take it or let it ride, right? And 180 is a big level for any stock because it's one of those $10 levels. And it's probably a big psychological level for PLTR as well. So there we are. I'm going to take half off. I took half off at 180.29, which hit exactly on my minimum profit target. Now I'm adjusting my break-even stop. So I have the correct number of shares at break even, so I don't end up in an accidental short position. And then we'll see if we can do a little more here. I might take another 50% off if enough time passes and we haven't really pushed much higher. There's a bit more. There's the $50 level. I'm going to take some off there as well. And now we've got a pretty good result in adjusting my break-even stop once again.
Nice. Nice. You got in just at the right time on this as you saw the move and was able to capitalize. I love it. Great trade, John.
Thank you. It's nice to have a good trade when you're trading in front of people, because it doesn't always happen that way.
that is certainly true. That is certainly true. I mean, I haven't got it. Well, I just had that one little trade on Netflix. I really haven't had a good trade today. I'm watching things like Tesla. Look at Tesla, just trundle sideways. Not a really great day for Tesla. I see that things like AMD are at the high of day. Here's AMD that just pushed to a high of day. And
I feel like in peak capital trading in our boot camp, I was the example lately for how to deal with a bad trading day. Like 3 out of the last 4 sessions was just not great results. Getting old.
Yeah. You it's never good to be the example of what not to do, right? So I I have these things that I found. So when I used to work corporate, it was big at the time to put up those motivational posters in the hallways, and they used to drive me nuts. So I love the fact that I was able to find these, which are some demotivational posters. And John, you would appreciate these, just because you've got a good wry sense of humor. So, and Mike was saying how I was an inspiration for him because when I broke my finger, anyways, and I had to cut my ring off because it swelled so much. He said he took his ring off immediately when he hurt his finger the other day, and he was listening to my example. So here's one of a demotivational poster. Mistakes. It could be that the purpose of your life is only to serve as a warning to others.
Feels that way sometimes.
So, yeah. I've got a whole series of those that I find quite entertaining. That so you got to have a wry sense of humor. That or John, maybe people were thinking this one for you. Failure, when your best just isn't good enough.
It's real.
The pain is real.
It's real.
So there's a lot of these that apply to trading because they're also, again, these are sort of, they're obviously a parody of those ones that they always had and that I always saw in the corporate environment that were supposed to energize you, that eventually just pissed you off if you were having a bad day. So here's the last one I'll share for this morning.
My son just got his first rejection for his college application, so it was kind of one of those adult moments for him. Like, hey man, more participation trophies.
Yeah, not everything works out. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Futility. You'll always miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and statistically speaking, 99% of the shots you do. So there you go. Anyways, all right. As you can tell, those entertain me. I grabbed a whole collection of them.
That was quite the phenomenon. The motivational posters of the.
It was again. It was
90s, early 2000s, something like that.
Yeah, you feel better already? Good. See, I'm glad I can help. It's said they entertain me. Trundle, you like? I've got this weird collection of words that I use and some of them I don't know how to pronounce. That's one thing I've learned. I'm an avid reader, so I read a lot, and I realize there's words that I've read in books year after year that I pronounce them one way in my head, but they're not properly pronounced. So I will say it, and people are like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And then I realize I didn't actually know how to say the word. I just read it phonetically.
It's worse when you use a word your whole life and you realize the definition was incorrect, which I've done a few times. I used the word aloof in a way that I thought it meant something that I thought, and it doesn't mean that at all.
My wife, we've been married for a couple of years, and my wife came and corrected me because she finally asked me to repeat slowly what I was saying, because I always thought that it was a dog world, but apparently it's a dog eat dog world. That is the expression, which I now know, and I've known for a long time. But back in my early 20s when I got married, I thought it was a doggy dog world. So, anyways. Because why would a dog eat another dog? Yeah. I just thought it was a world that was for the dogs, man. It's a bad world. Which sort of, same meaning, but I got it wrong. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I know that now. Anyways. So, Beth, maybe I'm not alone. So, there you go.
Trying to get the 181 break here on PLTR, by the way, just update on this trade. It hit 180.95. Hopefully I don't end up being the sucker who didn't take some off right there.
There you go. Yeah, I'll share one more. Defeat. For every winner, there are dozens of losers. Odds are you're one of them. That's like That's like the expression I love that, Andrew's an avid mountain climber. He's been up Everest. But there's that expression, if you want to look at the wry side of life, that expression that says, there are hundreds of dead bodies, right, on Everest, of people that died trying to make the climb. And because it's so expensive, like often their bodies are just left there. Like literally there are frozen dead people on your trek up to Everest. And they say, every frozen body on Everest was once a highly motivated individual. So... which is a very dark way to look at life, but it's a good excuse if you want to just go do something bad, like have a drink or a hamburger or something. Just, whatever. Whoa. Yeah, I know. Beth, it's one of those, if you've never sort of thought about it before, you're like, well, sometimes that's life, right? That is very dark. Okay. All right, guys, getting back to trading. I'm still watching, looking for my first trade opportunity. This is actually a good day. This setup is good for my midday trades. We're a quarter after 10, 45 minutes into this market. And, whereas John is still, he's got the PLTR move. It's happening. It's going quite well. I'm waiting for PLTR to show me that it's tired, and then maybe I could take it the other way. So.
Yeah, I just took another partial at 181. Much fewer shares left now, so I kind of need bigger moves to get meaningful money out of this unless I add in. So I will look to add some more on this, but I want to point out the SPY's at 688 something, low 688s, and I believe the all-time high in the SPY is it's 689.70. It's a bit higher. I thought it was 688.70, but man, smoking market.
Yeah, and that spike on PLTR looks like it is a little tired. I would have liked a little more volume, or I actually would have gone short against you if it had spiked with a little more volume there. But as it is, I'll sit and wait for a bigger move. Looks like Andrew's not having the best Friday. He's struggling a little bit. Oh my goodness, guys! You don't see this often. I got to show you this. Just because to show even the best of us. Look at this. I'll just share the chat room for you here so you can see what's going on. And look at this. Look at this chart on Tesla. Andrew's been trying to get Tesla to just work for him, and it has not been cooperating. So that's a Christmas tree, as we call it. That's a Christmas tree stock or a chart. So. Yeah. Well,
going
Mike is
long or short or both.
I think he's gone long every time, but just the number of entries and the number of
it's an ugly looking chart today. Really gross.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh, let's do camera. You gotta get there you are. So there you go. That's anyways, that happens sometimes to the best of us. So yeah, PLTR is looking a little tired, but it could go either way at this point.
So what I can do now is I can bring up my trade calculator and I can do some what if stuff. So
okay.
I've got 50 shares left at what's the average price? 179.29. So 179.29, 50 shares. Now if I double those so I get some more buying power, let's say I double those up at well, if I did it at the high of day, which is 181.50, my average price would be 180.39, which is that right? That doesn't look right. 179.
Yeah, that's a halfway between those two.
Yeah,
that looks about right.
I thought it would be low. Visually, I thought it'd be lower. Oh, just because of that high wick. Okay, yeah. So what I'd really rather do is keep my break even below 180, just because it can serve as support, because it's just one of those fat liquidity levels. It's a $10 level. So what I can do is reduce this number. So say I added 181. That still doesn't get me below 180. Let's say I add it 180.75, which is actually lower. Oh, wait. Gosh, I really have to add pretty low.
What if you just changed, don't double your size? What if you just added 30 more shares?
Yep, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can do that. Let's go back. Yeah, let's go back to the original 180.50. Let's just do a 25. Yeah, I think, a good place to add might be about 180. Let's say 180, 181.25. Add 25. That would get me below. That might be a good setup. This is hard to do, obviously, when the trade's moving very fast. But once it slows down like this, like now I've been in this trade since, wow, has it only been that long? No, when did I get in? No, I've been in for 16 minutes. So,
right.
When in the initial candles, this would be a very hard exercise to do. But once you get down to a small amount of shares, you're a good distance away from your entry. You can start to play around with the numbers like this and just see what might make a good add.
Right. Yep.
So I'm gonna think about that, adding about 25 shares somewhere on what looks like a decent break of 181. At the moment, that's not even in play. So what I'm going to do is set an alert at 180.94. So now I know when it's coming back up.
Wow. Were you watching Meta? Meta's moving high of day now, but pretty aggressive move higher here.
Yeah, I heard my alert go off. Meta's a fun stock, man. It's hard to pick the days it's going to do stuff like this. But yeah, it's a nice break there.
Meta is that way, isn't it? Like it'll do nothing for days on end, and then suddenly have a day where it decides let's move today. Let's have some fun.
And it's just not one of those stocks we all tend to focus on, like Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, in our community, and probably a lot of other traders are focused on those. And Meta's kind of a sleeper.
I see that you mentioned Intel. I see Intel made the top here. I wouldn't go chasing this. I wouldn't take an entry here. I mean, I know it's only 30 cents away from the high of day, but still, it's not aggressive enough. And the second high was higher, right? That is the high of day. So that sort of breaks my mountain pass type rules. So not a trade for me. Although Intel does look weak. It looks like it has room to go down, but I see that. I see the mention. What else you guys got here? Meta. Netflix did manage to poke its little head green here, and it's just on the red side of yesterday's close, but it was green for a couple of minutes. So that's I'm pretty impressed. Mike had a long-term plan on this, and he executed quite well. So I think that's pretty awesome.
On which one, Meta or Netflix?
Netflix.
Yeah.
He's been saying for weeks how he's going to buy below 100, and he just waited, and then right at the open, he got in a long-term position. Like this is for his long-term buy and hold account. So, and he got in, and look at this. He's already like $5 to the good. So, yeah, it's working well for him.
Yeah, I'm not a good I just don't know what to make of Netflix. I never have. And I was saying before about investing. It's fun to invest in something you believe in, right or wrong. It's better to be invested in something that you kind of have you think is a good product. I just don't like Netflix that much. Like every time I go perusing through it, I'm like, I don't want to watch any of this mostly. And I don't know. My wife loves it. She's definitely getting her money's worth out of it. So it's just one of those things that, I know I'm probably wrong, but I just can't see it myself.
Yeah, see, you need to you like to watch different things than perhaps mainstream. You should invest in PBS or the History Channel or something.
Yeah, PBS, good investment.
Probably not these days with the U.S. cutting funding to it. I think I assume that they have some government funding.
I should invest in obscure pyramid documentaries on YouTube that explain why they were made by aliens.
There you go. It's like that guy. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
It's aliens.
I love that. I love that guy.
So another option I have on PLTR, if I want to add to this trade, or just had this thought, I can add on a pullback as well, which I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, why wouldn't you add on a pullback as opposed to adding at the new high? I can, but it compresses the whole space of the trade. So if I add down here, like say 180.50 and my average is 179.29, like it just makes everything smushed more closer. Like it puts me closer to the price action to get stopped out. If I add at highs, it spreads everything out and gives me more room for my stop. So it's just, again, it's no free lunch in trading. It's always a give and take. Like, yeah, there's more upside if I add here, but the likelihood of being stopped out is definitely higher.
There you go. So it's this guy, right? This guy is your spirit animal?
That guy, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can't watch that stuff till my wife goes to bed, and then I'm all in on her. All right, what's underneath these pyramids? How old is the Sphinx? Love me a good ancient conspiracy.
Did you watch that show? It was a Netflix show, or at least it was on Netflix. Trying to remember where he talks about like he thinks all of the archaeologists are wrong, or not that there's a conspiracy necessarily, but they're protecting their little fiefdoms and refuse to admit that all of these things are related to ancient apocalypse. I think that's what it's called.
Graham Hancock. Yeah. No, I enjoy his stuff. Yeah, he's entertaining. He's a feisty guy. He's easily offended, old Graham Hancock.
There you go.
It's funny to listen to these guys, these academics go after each other. It's sometimes it's this ancient civilization stuff. I've seen string theory scientists like it's so mad at each other, about each other's theories and stuff. It's just very, very funny. A lot of emotion there. I think he's got some good ideas, but he kind of uses the shotgun method, like everything's a conspiracy, or everything is like something that's not what it is to him. And it's like, well, you're probably not right about all 15 of these things, but you might be right about 2 of them.
Yeah. It's funny because I watched it and I thought the first 2 episodes, I'm like, all right, this makes sense. But then he started going on and I'm like, as the further he went into this, like you said, like, I don't know, you can tie everything together, but some of what you're saying absolutely makes sense. And it could be. I don't know. I'm not educated enough to know.
Some of it's very compelling. And he's been proven right about a few things. I mean, a lot of, I don't want, you know what? This is a day trading channel.
Yeah, I know.
Focus on that, but yeah, you'll get me started.
Yeah, sorry. It's my bad. Oh, well. All right, guys. I am still watching, though, for trades. PLTR has leveled off here. It's sitting at a level that, wasn't giving me, anyway, signals for a short. But I don't know where it's going to go. Still keeping John in that trade. Might very well go up to a new high of day. Are you still thinking to add if it gets back up above 181.20?
I think so. And
okay.
Mostly just because, like, I can't make a lot of money at this point. So, like,
right.
It's kind of like, I should just sell here, or I got to find an ad that's going to work. So,
right. Okay. That's fair.
These are the hard decision points because let's see. What do I got unrealized? I got $60 unrealized and I've got 370 in the bank. So like I could add another 16% just by selling right here to my product. And that's not small, that's a good chunk. So these are the everyday decisions about trading you got to make.
Wow, Netflix really made a good move this morning, and it's now green, and it looks like it's going to stay there. So here's the Netflix chart. So it's I do regret not reversing my trade on that one, but.
The market is rolling over. We spent quite a bit of time around 688. And now we are definitely doing a bit of a rollover here. So we'll see where this goes.
Mm-hmm. See the SPY here pushing lower right now.
Tesla's setting up for something. I don't know what direction it's going, but that stock is going to go somewhere eventually. It's really
it's yeah, it looks like it's sort of curling. I call this curling around the VWAP, right? Like it looks like it's just sort of spinning its way like a helix around here, and like you said, it's going to break at some point. It also has brought the previous day close is riding tight here to the VWAP. So usually when you get that type of consolidation, it is going to break, but which direction and when, I have no idea.
Microsoft's been toying with its high here for a while now. It's not a very good setup from what I look for, but it just keeps teasing going above its high of day.
McGarnagle, you said you got Netflix on the $100 break, so that's good. So you're liking it now. It's sitting nicely $4 above that, so that's great. I don't know if you ever answer me. I don't know if that's your actual name or just a made up name. I just like saying McGarnagle.
Isn't that a character from The Simpsons?
Is it? Could be.
It's the cop. It's the cop from The Simpsons that doesn't follow the rules. McGarnagle, darn it.
Is it? Okay. It's a good name though. Oh, okay. Yeah. Not his name. It is from The Simpsons. There you go. You nailed it, John. All right. You show your pop culture mastery.
He's basically like the Bruce Willis police character of The Simpsons. It doesn't go by the book, you know.
Okay.
McGarnagle.
I guess I haven't watched enough of The Simpsons to know him. So. But the name McGarnagle does sound like somebody that wouldn't follow the rules.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I've seen the first 9 seasons of The Simpsons repeatedly. Like, way too much of my life was spent on that. But then there was another 20, 25 years I've not seen.
All right, there's my 10:30 alarm telling me we're an hour in, and this is if I'm going to get some reversals. Roughly around now when things start to set up, and oh my goodness, Netflix is it's having a day. It's recovered everything that it lost pre-market. It's now up $1.40.
Oh wow, yeah, look at that.
Great move.
See, that's a break. That's very
Netflix.
Very hard to pick that breakout. I would never have known at 10:26 was going to do that.
Yeah, it's interesting move. I wouldn't have taken it either. I didn't take it, so congrats to McGarnagle. Didn't follow the rules and made a bunch of money.
Tesla's back at its upper end of its range here, kind of. No, not quite. No, it's not.
What's PLTR up to? Just still hanging out in this area, eh?
This is when I start to get bored and start exploring the daily chart and thinking, all right, what's going on here? There's just a ton of, if you look on PLTR, go back from on a daily chart from around September 19th to October 23rd. So there's a whole month there of just traffic in this area. So very hard to say what PLTR is going to want to do up in here.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole area in here, you can see all of this. Let me put a box around it and show you guys what we're talking about here. Right? John's talking about this area in here. You get the purple box. And yeah, it's hard to know what it's going to do, right? A breakout to the top, I mean, it's a big range, though. So
yeah.
It's but it means in it, if we go into, you'd have to go back into a 60-minute chart and see back in September what we were doing. So here's the box. All right. And you can zoom in then to what was happening in there. And we can see that a lot of the price action. Look at this area, this 181.50, where it had hit and spiked at high to. It used that area as support back at beginning of October, and then a little bit later is using it as resistance. So, look, and there's the old house phone. What's going on here?
All right, so PLTR's taking up here at 181, might be back in the cards here. We'll see as the SPY pushes high of day and the Qs do at the same time. So still thinking about adding to this, but I'd like to see a little more confirmation that it's really wanting to go higher. Tesla's not it's nowhere near the high of day. It's not near the literal top of this range it's been stuck in, but there's this point on the 5-minute chart where it kind of seems like the resistance is really happening around 450, 650. I'm kind of curious if it can get some volume to really push through there. There's good potential in Tesla here today, given how it's moved the last couple days. But I can tell you from experience, it can be very tricky. It's a bit of a nasty stock and how it gets from its highs and its lows. Looks like we got Ecom Verma 4833 long Amazon from 2030-20. Nice. And you got the prayer hands method going. Good. Now that's only a method if you do move your stop to break even. That's the true prayer hands method. Although I guess in trading we could use it for pretty much any trade. Amazon is now just a hair over its actual high of day. That was set earlier. Oh, when was that? That was 8 minutes after the open. It set a high of 231.17, and it just is sneaking over that now.
And all right, I'm back.
PLTR.
Glad I took that call. All right.
I got some fun calls recently, Peter. I got 2 in a row from a scammer trying to tell me that I was caught in some kind of Google chat where I had said something that I shouldn't have said.
Okay.
And, yeah, it was interesting. I couldn't quite get the guy. I was trying to like play along and see where this was going, but both of them kind of broke down. But it was very.
What was the scam? Like, what was he trying to get from you?
I don't know. That's what I couldn't quite get to, but before he kind of could feel like I knew it was a scam and like he started wanting to like not give any more information. So it kind of fizzled out on both fronts. But it was interesting. Yeah, it was kind of scary because the amount of information he had about me was, I was like, I could see like my poor mother falling for this easily. Because even I was like, I'm 90% sure this is bullshit, but
right.
But part of me was like, I don't know, this is sort of a bit convincing too. But at the end of the day, I'm like, who the heck's gonna call you from Google? Like that's the number one giveaway on the whole thing. It's like Google doesn't call people, right? Like so.
No, that's true.
But what I did yesterday is I went through to erase myself from the internet as much as I could, because you know how you your name pops up in searches sometimes,
right?
There's some information, your address can be there and stuff. So I went on ChatGPT and I said, how do I undo this? And it gave me like a really great list of instructions. Like you need to go to all these websites and start opting out. And it was work. You know, it took me like an hour and a half to go through them all and get all these confirmation emails and reply back and do all this stuff. But it had a pretty good effect. I mean, the difference from like yesterday and today to what can be found was amazing. So it's worth your time, folks. If you got a couple hours, go get your crap off the internet as best you can.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I'm sure that if somebody found me, they could convince me that I did something wrong, because I do lots of things wrong all the time.
So still in PLTR, still hanging out here below 181. It's spending so much time below 181. I might actually add there instead of where I talked about a bit higher. Because now it's telling me that 181 is kind of the new resistance level. We got highs in the last few minutes of 180, 88, 86, 85, 91, 92, 85, etc. So just a lot of resistance here below 181. And those are the levels that when they break, you can start to build the next leg sometimes.
Right.
Tesla's going higher here a little bit.
All right, let's go back to your slide. Sorry. Look at that.
And I've got a new support level too. So if you look on PLTR, the level it's supported is about 180.25-ish. So when we talked about like where, if I add shares, where is my stop going to be? It might be, I was thinking 180 before is the good stop, but now the chart's kind of telling me that 180.25 is not bad either. So I can kind of factor that in as well and redo the math.
That makes sense. I think we're getting some guests here joining. We've got Andrew just about to get in. I can't hear him yet. Hold on a sec.
I thought I said Andre. I was like, who?
Yeah, it does. He does come in as Andre, but that's we got him here. Hold on, Andrew. I gotta enable him. There he is. All right. Hello, Andrew. I hear the echo in the room. I guess I got to turn this off. We can get this back.
Brian has to stop. Brian, you have to stop with a microphone, and
okay.
I think that's it. I am actually having a very bad day.
I saw that. It's looked like you're struggling. Tesla was not cooperating with you, and
as soon as I got out, the breakout happened. 458 is going to go to 459 probably. So I had a really bad day. Yeah, Scott, I wasn't wrong. I was just early. But I mean, it is part of trading. It was a bad day. Like I'm negative for a week. So I gave all the profit back in the last couple of days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So John, how are you doing, brother?
Doing good, Andrew. How's Thailand? It looks beautiful.
Thailand was great. We really, really missed you. It was really, really good. The weather was amazing. The vibe, energy, people, everything was good. Trading was really good. The room is really nice. We had a little bit of an issue with the mic and the quality of the sound, but overall, everything was great. But I really, really missed you, especially Peter. You're coming to all of our meetups, and we really missed you. So Peter, if you share your screen, actually, you're sharing your screen. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that okay if I hand it over into the next 20 minutes? Because I'm not really doing good work, and I really need to stop getting out of my computer because I'm very tempted to get back into another trade, and I shouldn't.
Of course. We don't want to force you into trading that you don't want to be doing. So.
Yeah, thanks. And John, this is another example that Tesla is not a good company. Yes.
Good for me, Andrew.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend, and I hope to see you. I'll be in Dubai tomorrow, so I'll trade from Dubai on Monday. So see you guys later.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Andrew.
Later, Andrew. Take it easy. Safe travels. Okay. Well, we're here. Hello to everybody in the chat room. If you're just tuning in, I guess, or we're just rejoining you. John is in a trade. We got John's 12 grid up here. He's in PLTR, which he got in for this break of high, his signature move. And he's got an average price just below. What's your average price on this one?
179.29.
179.29. There you go. Okay, so he's sitting well into it now. Took partials on the way up, and I was thinking about an ad if it gets back up over 181, but right now it looks like it's got the support level at 180.25-ish, as you can see that it's sort of being supported on the chart there. So I'm sort of showing the screen that John looks at, just get a feel for how he sort of manages and monitors his trades. PLTR would be middle row, second set from the right. So if you're looking for PLTR in there. And
I'd like to give out
go ahead.
Can I give a shout out to Beth this morning in the chat?
Of course.
Beth, got to be the same Beth I talked to. She sent me an email recently looking for some information on the high day break trade. So I sent her a webinar we have for free on YouTube and in my trade book that we use in the boot camp. So hello, Beth.
Nice. There you go. And I myself only have one trade on the morning. I sort of stuck to the Rising Devil. Didn't really pop up. Tried to get a short. Was sort of very glad that I managed it the way I did. You can see that I got in, took a very quick partial, stopped at break even. Was waiting to see what happened, and of course we know what happened now, right? It went for a run. In hindsight, I'm like, I should have reversed it, but I wasn't thinking that way at the time. I wasn't thinking about Netflix taking a, $5-6 run higher here. So I just watched it go, and that's it. Now I'm waiting for my bigger trade setups, and a lot of stuff that's hit high of day that is pulling back now. So I'm thinking mid-afternoon there might be some opportunity, but we'll have to wait and see. Things like Tesla that I know that didn't treat Andrew very well, but it's finally breaking out of this range. Maybe can push higher. I don't know. Tesla doesn't look very energetic today, so it's maybe not the best target, but we'll see where things go.
Yeah, the relative volume on everything is low today. If you look at these 12 stocks on my screen, there's only 2 that are above 100% RVOL, which means they're trading a little more than normal. And one of them's Meta, which is 101, which means it's just trading what it normally trades over the past 20 days. OKLO's at 177, so that's a good bump in interest there. But everything else, Microsoft 61, AMD 90, Apple 56, Amazon 59, Google 68, NVIDIA 73, and Tesla's 80%. There's less interest right now, trade-wise, than there has been recently. So, and it's been like this all week, by the way. The SPY has been below, like really low RVOL all week long, which should reflect, if you went to a daily chart in the SPY volume, you should see lower volume days, and they are a bit. I think what's probably causing it, there's a spike in volume on the SPY between, like, say, November 11th and the 21st. There's a good week of volume there. So like we're comparing ourselves to the effect of that on the average. So I think that's why perhaps it's showing up a bit low. And yeah, PLTR it's dying here below 180.
Yeah, that RVOL is problematic because it means you don't get the energy, right? You don't get a lot of continuation on the moves, so a little bit quieter price action. Oh, Mike is going to this event. I didn't realize it was an outdoor event.
Yeah, I used to live out there, and there's a nice soccer stadium. The soccer team is very big in Kansas City.
Right.
But yeah, I think it would probably be there. Yeah, it'd probably be an outdoor thing. Very cold. What are they drawing there? He said it's a World Cup draw, but they're not doing. Oh, maybe they're doing it like globally. They're picking all the who the teams are playing and they're like broadcasting it to different places?
I assume so. Yeah, it looks like there's a big screen. He's in some sort of covered area with a big screen. Here, let's see what we can do here. So yeah, he's at some live. Oops. Here's what it looks like. Some outdoor live thing that he's doing. It looks like they're just broadcasting it on the screen. Like you said, people with their scarves. That guy in shorts? What the hell?
True.
This guy's bundled up. Bundled up. Look at the guy sitting down. He's about to come into screen here.
What do you think that says there?
Shorts.
At the end of the video, what does that say? NC patio? Would that be like PNC?
Probably. Yeah.
I wonder.
Anyways. That's what Mike's doing. That's why he wanted to leave early. Wanted to go to this. He's a soccer fan, so or football if you're in Europe.
Yeah, so he's downtown.
Which is more properly called football, let's be honest. But
I've heard it started out as soccer.
It did.
Even in Europe.
Yeah, there's a good story there, because I guess there was a competition between different leagues, and one decided they were going to call it football, and the other one picked soccer, and I can't remember. There's a whole backstory. But in any
Let's
event.
face it, though, you kick the hell out of that ball with your foot for hours. It's football's a good name.
Yeah, it's better than American football, where the name was chosen football because the ball is a foot long, which
it is
apparently. I mean, unless that's fake news, but
I thought maybe it was more of a kicking game when it first was invented, more of a rugby, a lot of punting or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
it's not going anywhere. I'll tell you that much. We're too used to saying it.
Yeah. All right. Still watching the markets here, guys. And this is what happens as the day slows down a little bit, right? You can watch the markets. We can have conversations about things. Especially for my trades where, they're low, slow builds. I said I'm watching Tesla as Tesla is heading towards a high of day, it's at the high of day right now, but it got there fairly weakly. So I'd like to see a little more enthusiasm. If that moves higher, then it might give me a short trade off of it. A lot of other stuff's already sort of moved back. Like AMD was looking good earlier, but it just sort of spiked higher and then right down. And this is like the second move it's done on this today. It's an interesting chart to me if you look at the AMD. Not tradable for me, but see how at the open it moved higher and then right lower. Like all green candles, all red candles. And then it slowly moved its way up over the next hour or so. And then, 40 minutes, I guess, and then just straight back down. So interesting, but not tradable. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. NVIDIA is another favorite of mine that's just really not doing much. It's sort of mid-range. So I know that I got a long time before anything that I'm watching is going to set up. On the other hand, John, you've got some decisions to make as to whether you're going to stick around with this PLTR trade or abandon it.
Yeah, well, I have to walk my dog in 10 minutes. So what I'll do at that point is, excuse me, put a range order on it, just in case something great happens while I'm gone. And if not, then I'll probably cancel that when I come back and see about making this into a trade I can add into. That's called the prayer hands dog walking method.
There you go.
Slightly humorous than the at your desk.
You've called me out on that. Humorous is saying, Peter, you've been having conversations all trading day today. So you're right. I guess it doesn't matter what time. I'm just going to talk. So, guilty as charged. I had an invite from a buddy to go to breakfast this morning. I had to turn him down on that. Excuse me. Probably just, I don't want to go outside, but I could use some food. I haven't had, maybe that's why I'm cold. I haven't eaten yet today.
What do we got for meetups coming up in the new year, Peter? I heard
we don't have anything planned. there was Vegas mentioned. Andrew said that he wanted to go somewhere in Texas, and then Brian was suggesting Vegas. So, but nothing's confirmed. So that was, we'll have to see. And of course, probably next year this time there will be another big trip. Who knows? But nothing scheduled at the moment. Andrew, I see you're asking, how was the new Hard Rock? It was there's a new one that just opened in Ottawa here, and it was okay. It's typical to their usual setup. It was relatively small compared to the other ones, because I guess it's a relatively small market, so that makes sense. But we went and saw a live band, and they had a good entry offer though. I was able to gamble for free. And I was telling people, you can game the system. So if anybody's in Ottawa and wants to go to the Hard Rock, go sign up for their membership card, and they give you free $20, $25 maybe, or $20 or $25 anyways off your drinks, and then $25, sorry, you can spend at either the slots or a 2-for-1 thing, where basically if you put $25 down at one of the tables, like blackjack, they'll give you $50 worth of credit. So I basically did that, and I put $50 down and just played 2 hands, and I lost one and won one, so I ended up $25, and I just took the money because now you have chips, and I used the chip to pay for my drinks with the discount, so basically everything was free. So that was pretty awesome. And I told my wife, she's not a big gambler, so she actually ended up winning money. She won like $35 at the slots. But I said, if you really wanted to play the system, all you have to do is load the $25 into a slot machine, and then play like one 60-cent hand, and then cash out. And now you've got one of the coupons where you could take your $24.40 or whatever you got left and cash it out. So you could go there and make money without really having to gamble. You just have to sign up for their newsletter. So, in any event.
Boy, they don't count on 1,000 of you walking through the door, Peter. I'll tell you that.
I know. Cheapos. My wife's like, she's busy gambling like, pennies at a time. What's the cheapest slot machine? That's what she's trying to find.
That's my method as well.
I'm not a big, they had roulette, they had blackjack. I'm not big on those games. I Texas Hold'em is what I like to play, but I didn't see any of that happening. Although it was still under construction, so only half of it was open. There was a whole nother area that hadn't opened. Maybe they'll be introducing some of those tables. I'm not sure. But Texas Hold'em is also something you can't just go and play 1 or 2 hands of. Like, you got to sit down and commit for a couple of hours at least. You don't gamble? I don't blame you. It's for suckers. Gamble for fun. The casino, assume that you're going to lose your money. That's why I like Texas Hold'em, because to me, it's not gambling. I'm entering in a game of strategy with other players. I'm not playing against the house. I'm playing against the other people at the table. So, and I enjoy it. It's got the same risk analysis that you have to do, like trading. I find there's a lot of analogies between. In fact, there's books that I always recommend if you guys don't know. I'll just grab one over here. Annie Duke's Thinking in Bets. It's all about poker. She decided to become a poker player, and it's a very good book. But all of the lessons she has in here and all the conversation about poker is directly applicable to trading. So good, easy read too, if you're interested. Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke. Yeah.
Question from the Milnicks on the chat about contacting kind of like our customer support. You can write to team@bearballtraders.com, and they should be able to answer any questions you have.
Yeah. Tell them John sent you.
Tell them I sent you from YouTube.
Yeah. We'll we can get you connected. The deal is over, but let them know which deal you were looking at and that we had talked. You can copy. Feel free to copy me on it. You've got the proof now recorded forever on YouTube too. So
I'm about to get stopped out. I don't see myself surviving at this point in my the rest of my PLTR trade.
Yeah,
we're just diving too fast here.
It's coming back down to your entry pretty quickly. Here, I'm watching PLTR as it's doing that.
And Oh, come on. Stop me out so I don't have to think about this while I'm walking my dog.
Sometimes that can be the worst, where it gets close and you're like, at this point, just stop me out. It's not worth it.
Just put the knife in my heart. Make this be over.
Yeah. You got like $3 left in the trade, and you're like, who cares?
Exactly.
Just,
yes, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah. But now it's popping back up, and you're like, all right, maybe I'll set my stop and
Let's
let
see
it
how close
run.
it came. That came down to 179.34, 5 cents away from stopping me out.
There you go. Well, you know where to set your stop now, and
yeah, well, it's in the right place, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
The market just hit the SPY and the Qs are so similar looking today that as they hit VWAP and as they hit pre-market high, they're doing it at the same time. I like days like this because it makes it easier to kind of trade off the market, because both those ETFs are at the same levels at the same time, pretty much.
Right.
So they're both right around pre-market high now, and which may hold, hopefully, unless you're short.
Yeah, we'll see. See what they choose to do. I gotta check and see. We should have our next guest joining. Where's There it is. I gotta let these guys in. That's why they can't. Hanging out in the wings, getting ready. Thor and Nathan going to be taking over here momentarily. We got them out here. I got to get them all set up. So, let's see. Put Nathan over here. Oh, Nathan's already over there. He doesn't have a camera yet. If you guys are having trouble, by the way, Thor and Nathan, we've had some weird issues here. Sometimes it takes a couple of times to connect to get in there, but
I think I got in pretty good. If I don't,
you're right? Yeah, I can hear you. You're absolutely in.
We're live.
So I've got your screen too, so that's good. We just have to put you back onto the other screen. Nathan, I don't hear or see yet. Thor, how's your day going? Did it end up working out?
It's actually a very boring day so far.
Okay.
So the ticker that I really liked today was Amazon.
Okay.
I liked it for a short. I have tried to short on it, and since I've been in it, it has gone nowhere. It is a beautiful range trade, but it is treating it like a range trade, and it is just being super boring. So unfortunately, as of right now, I'm not getting a really good move here, and I'm getting a little bit of it's kind of, Atlas is not my best friend on this one either, because our order book is now really balanced on Atlas. So unfortunately, it just looks like I may be hanging out a bit. Just, I feel like that little kid if you've ever seen the cartoon, The Incredibles. I'm like that little kid that's just like, he's like, what are you looking at? And he's like, I don't know, waiting for something incredible, so that's
I'm waiting for something amazing, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I got nothing. So we'll see what happens. But I had a great trade yesterday. It made basically my whole week in one trade. So I was very happy. So maybe today it's just no dopamine for me today, I think, Peter. So we'll just have to be dopamineless.
There you go. Well, why don't we do this then? From John and I, thank you so much for spending the morning with us. Mike, thanks for being on earlier. We're going to hand over to Thor and hopefully Nathan. I'll work on the background here, getting him connected in. Hopefully we'll find out what's going wrong. But over to you, Thor, to end out this Friday and this week. So
yes,
take care, everybody.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care, everybody. I can hear you, Nathan. So but I don't know if Peter can.
So I'll work on it here. It's something I've done. So it's user error on my side. So we'll get there.
So we call this user error. So sometimes the IT guy is the person at fault, and we're gonna let it. A lot of people don't appreciate, but I think so, because Peter, I used to do this role for a long time ago, and I remember like just getting the pre-market show up and running was like being a commercial airline pilot. I mean, you're literally like, you're really literally like just sitting down and you're like, all right, I want to, let's see, I got to turn vmix on, I got to turn this on, I got to turn this on. Okay, wait, this. I mean, you're like it's just crazy,
There's a lot of buttons
you
and
don't want me
screens.
doing
I'll
it,
give you
that's
that.
for sure.
All right, we got Nathan. We got sound. I don't see your camera, Nathan, but I've got sound now.
Okay. Let me try it again.
Alex, you're also short Amazon. I know, so sad, so true. So I think what I want to do today is Nathan and I are going to talk a little bit about some trading stuff, not a lot of trading stuff. So we'll just kind of like AMA and we can talk about different things. But on top of that, I am going to do a little something at the end of the day. We got him in here. I can see him. So I am at some point during this session. Oh, you know what? We don't have Carlos here, so I don't know if we can do giveaways, Peter. Can you run a Carlos style giveaway, or is that?
Oh no! Now you're going to challenge me. Yes, I can. Give me a second, and I can get that set up for you. Absolutely.
You don't. Not in a rush. We can do it like maybe more towards like the end or something, just to make sure no one leaves without me. But I'm going to give away an hour of mentoring. So,
nice.
Because I need some likes in the room. I'm only going to give that hour of mentoring away if we can at least get up to a respectable number of likes, like 300, 350 or something. Right now we're at like 229 because Carlos is not here shilling for likes nonstop. We're not giving away books. We're not giving away laptops or trips to Thailand or something like that. We have now given up our sole responsibility, which was to push a button. So please push said button, and if you do so, and we can get up to at least 300 or 350 or somewhere up in there, then I'll give away an hour of mentoring, which is it doesn't suck. I'm just saying it'll be a good time. Okay, go over anything you want. So
yeah, it's
all right.
That sell-off was interesting for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm in Amazon still, and not working, but kind of working now.
Yeah, man. Getting stuffed and now trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
Likes always given. Thank you, Helga. You're the best.
Yes, thank you, Helga. I saw you say hi in there. Hello to you. How was your Friday? How's everybody else's Friday? Any big plans for anyone? We are going to go see A Christmas Carol live. It's one of my Christmas traditions that I love to do every year. So
you got the concert tee on, the Alice in Chains. I like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. It's you know me. I'm a '90s grunge baby. So
okay. All right, nice. I got the giveaway up and running, Thor. Whenever you get to your target number, we can get her started. Only at that point. We got
it up and running, so we are able to now give away. But we just don't have to. We haven't gotten to a number.
Yeah. If and when you get to the target, you let me know, and what we'll do is then we'll hand out the keyword. You can pick whatever you want. You just let me know, and then we can get people started. So don't try and hashtag anything now. It's not going to count. So
yeah, because it says there's like 500 people watching, but there's only like 286 likes. So either we have a lot of bots, and we need to buy bots that can also like, because I would feel like if you're going to pay for bots, you would pay for a bot that can also like. So maybe we could work that out. But anyway, so we got to get this number up a little bit, but we are ready. I'll send Peter, we'll give Peter the thumbs up if you give us the thumbs up. Okay. All right. That's not as funny as I thought. A pivot bot liked it. That's funny. My bots like the show. I'm just saying. That's
Did the
funny.
BS detector throw in a like? I didn't see.
It should have. It should have.
It probably did. Yeah. That's up to Bruz. If it does it, that's on Bruz.
So I want to talk a little bit about, for those of y'all, how many folks in the chat that are not liking the channel for some reason, but are still in here. How many of you have been loving some Market Atlas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be doing a live trading terminal webinar next week during the market open. So on the 11th. So make sure you come to that.
I want to show you right now. Let's watch some real-time bid filling on Atlas right now. I'm not really sure why. I don't feel like it's actually showing a live screen for me right now. I feel like I'm stuck on one screen on YouTube. I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to retry it. And then let me go entire screen
JC
one.
Trader, you want to marry Atlas? We could probably figure that out. Andrew would have to give his consent. It's his baby,
Andrew would have to give Atlas away.
I probably want you to date it for a little while, get it home, on time.
Atlas is a little avoidant though. So, you'll have to give Atlas some time. So Zeus, I don't know. So if you get Bookmap through Thinkorswim, then that is going to be one of the cheapest ways you can possibly get to a visual order book, and no one can argue with that, right? But not every, and if you're not based in the US, that option is not really a viable option for you. You know what I mean? It's for a lot of people. So and Atlas compared to the normal price of Bookmap, if you were to say like buy it off of Bookmap's website, is quite comparable. Right. So so for me, I think that's that's relative. You know what I mean? So, but that's it. Yeah, but the code is super easy. It could be. I would never argue that anything would be easy to replicate or do otherwise. It's just do it. You know what I mean? Like that, like my whole thing is like people like tell me like, oh, well, like, the code you use for your system or whatever, like I could put that into TOS or I could put that into some other thing, do it. You know what I mean? Like I don't own CAMs, right? You can code everything you want, but I can assure you it took a lot of effort to put this in. Now, if you say you can code the BS detector, I say try it. I dare you. I bet you can't. But if you're looking here, so let's go to Atlas now, and I want to show you how you can really read a visual order book. Does that sound fun to everybody? We'll do a little real-time visual order book reading and really like work out and let me show you guys really how this works. So right now, so when you're reading a visual order book, and Nathan does like the best presentations on this, by the way. I'm not going to take credit for teaching him how to read the order book, but I was a part of his journey. I'm just going to say that. The dude's is badass, and he reads options, gamma, and stuff like that, which I cannot do, and it's really amazing. So check this out. So the order book breaks down into two major components, right? The big M and the little m, which is the macro structure and the micro structure. Right? The macro structure is our institutional orders, where our large orders are. Like right now, Amazon's order book looks very bearish, right? Because all of our institutional orders are buy orders on limit to the downside, right? So institutionally, it's bearish. To the top side, we have some orders, but they're smaller, right? So that's our macro structure. Our micro structure is the ladder. It's actually the area right around the price, right? And whether or not we go up or go down to the big orders has more or less what happens in the microstructure, right? So the microstructure will actually give you, so right now, for instance, you just saw a large buy come through and we did not move up a very lean order book. That would suggest absorption of some type by our specialists. Right? So since our macro structure and our microstructure is better to the downside because we have a large void of no ladder to the top side, and we're absorbing buys, when we go to the lean ladder, we would feel pretty confident in assuming that the price at some point in the relatively near future will be moving down to 230. Right? So this is basically how you can utilize an order book to see bearish and bullish intent. Now, order books flip all the time. And flipping is when we shift at first the micro, then the macro structure, right? But the micro structure is where you will see the shifting occur first. And it's really what you want to pay attention to. So if you start seeing like this, orders start building and filling in this area up here, then there is some insinuation that the specialists have an intention to rally, right? Everyone following me on that one?
What's your target on Amazon?
It's actually right near pre-market low.
How is it? Okay.
Right. So that's what I'm looking for now. See, here we go. See how we're lean to the top side, but we have plenty underneath. Right. So right now our macro and micro structure both insinuate that moving down is going to be the desired direction. Right. If we were going to move up, we would see more orders come in near in here, right? Look at 230.50. That's an institutional level. It's completely empty. Before we rally, orders will come in at 230.50. So if you were looking to play, if you're looking to see maybe go long, thinking this is an iceberg, right? You would actually wait and look for orders to come in at 230.50 before you would trigger long. Right now, there is very little chance we go up. Right? It's very, very likely we eat this bid, this 230 bid. And underneath that, look, we have another 11. There we go. Bid 8. There it is, 230.50. Bam. See how the order came on? So we ate that order, then the order came on. So that's a shift in the macro structure. Now look how they're laddering into that order a little bit. So this actually has some potential to squeeze an offer, right? But look what we're doing right now on Amazon. Look at this beauty. Look at this downtrend we have on Amazon on the 4-hour. Ooh, micro Bitcoin alerting, right? Look at this. Look at how this interacted today. Right. And now we're right back on it again. So, but imagine we've hit this a bunch, came off of it, and we're hitting it again on a down slope. This is pretty weak right now. And we're offering to our sellers now. So we have been selling. We started offering to our sellers here and we've been selling. So it's working pretty good, right? The best time for viewing the book map. What do you think, Nathan? I mean, for me, all the time is the best time. Like I love using the book at pretty much all times.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's knowing how far to look. When you're in your trade, you're looking for a breakout or something to happen. It just within that ATR. Really looking within that ATR range. At least for your trade and what you're trying to look to do. But keeping an eye out all the time. You definitely want to know what's going on and be aware of where you're at and be aware of what's going on.
All right, let's see.
I thought we would have gotten some pop on the market through here, but yeah, it's really selling down. It's definitely going to run for your target.
I'm excited to work with you, Zeus. No, I mean so the thing is we've had all day to rally, and we also have had some news events come out too. So I mean, if we were going to rally, I feel like that would have happened already. We've tried to offer to buyers all morning, and they have not came in. So at this point, I think this is about the sellers now. We're going to go find sellers. So one of the big things a lot of people get confused about is they think going down means we're trying to find buyers. No, 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 no. Look at the order book. I'm sorry, do you need to find buyers? I'm pretty sure we know right where they are. There's one at 2. Ooh, did you see that ask step down? We went from 230. We went from 230. Look at this. This ask stepped down from 230.40, and it stepped down to 230.20 and a quarter.
Is it leading order? Is that continuing to step down, leading the orders down?
So if you guys think trading with me and learning to trade with me could be a really fun time, I'd like to give you an opportunity to do so. You see, we're at 328 likes, which I think is close enough. I wouldn't mind one more like bump, guys. If we could get over 350, that's good. But I think we can go ahead and do this. So what's our hashtag going to be, Peter?
Well, you tell me. It's whatever you decide.
How about hashtag Mentor? MENTHOR. Hashtag Mentor. I will give you 1 hour.
Mentor. I like it.
Mentoring. No, just hashtag Mentor.
All right. Hold on.
And so we're gonna let this spin for a minute. So
okay.
And then we'll get there. So if you win, send an email to me. You can copy like Andrew or Carlos and Peter if you want, just to make sure it gets to me. It's thor@bearbulltraders.com. Not everybody, just the person who wins. And then I will send you a link to sign up for my calendar along with a promo code for a free session with me. So I really appreciate everybody who's interested in working with me and being a part of my my trading. So let's do that. Look at this real quick while we're still spinning up a few people. Oh, well, we got to do the draw before we can show more, but we are eating through that bid on Atlas right now, just like we were thinking. So, all right, what do you think, Peter? We ready?
Let me know. We got 71 entries. You let me know. It's still, people are still
71 entries
coming in.
No, let's wait a minute. We still got
still
people coming in hot.
Yeah.
Coming in hot.
You keep doing that. We can go back to your slides while that's churning away.
All right, keep on coming in. So you can see here that we're at 11:19. We're in a countdown. So we're counting down here. So look at that. Look how we just ate through that bid. Look how you can see that on Atlas, how we sold, market sells, hit into that order and hit into that order. See, look how our structure is actually changing now a little bit, right? So, but look, our ladder, where is our ladder? It's still to the downside. So it's looking good. We're gonna see what happens.
Sorry, Golden Arist, here, you need to ask your question again. Unfortunately, got automatically flagged and hidden because instead of saying book map, you put in boob map. And I assume that was not intentional. So the censors automatically censored your comment. So
from now on, for the record, from now on, whenever you reference book map, I would like it to be referenced as boob map.
Boob map, yeah.
Moving forward.
Anyways, the question is the length of the red and green line on book map. What does that tell you? Some lines are longer than others.
So that is the number of shares that are at that level. So like, for instance, there's 4,000 here, 4,735, 2,559, down here, 7,888. So a really big order, right, to the downside, right, on this thing.
Are they talking about when that goes into the historical heat map? I wonder too, because then once it gets to the left of that white line, then you're looking at the historical heat map. So it's going to tell you how that order's been on the book, how it's moved around, how it's compared to previous orders on the book too.
All right. So Mentor is a giving away for who just got here. I'm giving away 1 hour of mentoring with me. So put in Mentor if that is
and click you got to click the thumbs up and
click the thumbs up. Make sure you Mentor.
Yep. All right, we got 94 entries.
94 entries. That's fun.
Some people are doing it more than once, but it only counts you once if you're in. So
that's fun.
All right.
Let me be a part of your trading journey for an hour. We'll hang out. We can We can talk. You know, we can pour an
Learned a
old
lot.
fashioned, and just talk trade. No, I don't know. That got pretty deep pretty fast. Right.
By the way, if anybody's in the chat room, I'll give you a chance. I didn't see a lot, but yeah, you got to put it into the text in YouTube, so you can do it too.
If you're in the BBT, come over. If you're in the BBT, come over to YouTube real quick. I'll give you like another minute. Come over to YouTube. Just log in real quick. Like the show while you're here. Sorry, that was aggressive.
Absolutely. You can play too.
You know, and then if you like the show, then you can also be as cool as, you know, these people that are liking this shit.
All right.
Maybe that'll get us over 100. I feel like this should be for over 100.
Oh, you're over 100 now. You're at 104.
Nice. There's my BBT people.
Here we go.
Get over here and get it.
Here we go.
Get it, Big Bob.
Actually, I think it hit that before we brought him over, so that's good.
Oh, that's a lot of mentor.
So you let me know. We'll whenever you're ready, we'll declare a winner.
Let's do this. I'm in.
Okay, here we go. If you're not in now, the winner is dun, 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 dun.
Eric B.
Yeah, Eric B 6024. Nice. Congratulations, Eric. So what you need to do is Thor, where do you want him to email you?
Thor@variabletraders.com. Send me an
There
email.
you go.
And
okay.
It's Eric B. And yes, send me a message. I will send you a sign up link for my calendar with a Google with a location. For anybody else who wants to work with me, I can have a feel free to reach out through me either via DM. I'm going to put a link to my calendar, which you can, if you want to work with me, you can just book an hour of my time through there. So I'll try and get a link up to that. I'll get it on my Instagram here in the next like couple of hours, maybe. So you can just go by my IG and just grab my calendar right there. Because I don't think I can post them.
Awesome. By the way, I feel like I owe you an apology yesterday, Thor. I got distracted. I heard you from all the way across the house. I left you hanging, and I heard you like trying to end the show, and I wasn't here to give the final credits. And I'm like hustling my way. I'm like, no, I gotta get, and it was all gone. And I'm like, oh, anyways. So it was gone. So that was on me. That was all me.
Well, he was jealous, Peter, that you hung out with me on Tuesday and then
and then abandoned him. These weeks are exhausting. I gotta say they're very tiring because Carlos does a lot of work here.
I would want to go.
Yeah. And so it's I'll be happy to have him back. So in any event, all right, I'll let you guys go.
Right. I mean, he is getting his like total just like chill on, just enjoying life.
We love those. And we love Peter.
So here is, I don't think it'll let me do it. I don't think I'm allowed. You probably can copy and paste it, but that's my calendar link. So for anyone who actually wants to like, you know, if you go to that link right there, you can see my open availabilities for December, January, like the next like 3 or 4 months. So and you can book an hour with me anytime you want. It handles payment right through my calendar, and it does all of that stuff. So so for those of you who are like on a wait list, for instance, on my wait list for mentoring, now what I prefer you to do if you want to mentor with me is just join my mentoring group. That way I can work with you more broadly, and then you can just go to my calendar and schedule any one-to-one time at any time you want. So it'll just be right there. So I think that'll make it a lot easier.
Even I have to do that.
So Nathan has to schedule on my calendar, and now he needs a promo code to do it because it'll charge him if he doesn't use it.
Where'd you give that link? Did people get it?
I posted it into the thing. I can DM it to you.
Okay. I don't see it. I just want to make sure people got it.
You missed the webinar at Trading Terminal. Was it recorded and posted there? I will have to check on that, on if it was recorded and or if it would be posted anywhere. I did not record it, but I think Dwayne was there. So maybe Dwayne was recording it. I'm not really sure, or if it records itself. That was my first Trading Terminal one. For the record, like I figured out how to get into tradingterminal.com 5 seconds like before.
That was the same for me when I did my webinar last.
Like I'm like, how do?
I was like,
what
oh,
is
it's
my
got to be the same
password?
as BBT.
Yeah, and no, it was not. Oh, we're echoing. Echo. Ooh, echoes are fun. Ladies
It's
and
just so you
gentlemen,
can
boys
hear-
and girls.
Oh, hold on.
Just
That's
so you
me,
can hear it
probably.
twice.
And the home of the brave. Play ball. No, what movie? No.
Christmas Vacation.
You ever see Demolition Man?
Oh yeah,
Movie Demolition Man?
yeah.
That's that. I mean, he's on the camera and he uses the little baton thing. I'm sorry, people. It's Friday at 11:30, and I have been in the same
Yeah.
dang short for like 5 hours. So I am just like done. Okay. But it's working.
It's still it's still just getting stuffed right there.
What was second?
Interesting.
What would I say about that? One second. I gotta write this because I'll forget if I don't.
What's everybody traded today so far? That's been good. And then this kind of sell-off we've been getting now, looks like everything. If you caught those reversals in the right spot. I'm trying to multitask too much.
All right, there we go. All right, so I wanted to type that because if I didn't remember, I wouldn't have remembered. So back to the order book, because that is what we do. We trade bubbles, right? We are bubble traders. So as we were talking about that micro and macro structure from earlier, all right, so what does that structure tell us now? So for everyone who's kind of with me and like paying attention a little bit, what are we seeing right now? So what's really important when you're trading, right, is you need to understand that the market exists in a condition kind of like an emotion, right? We either are buying or we are selling or we are indifferent, right? We're not doing one or the other, right? So right now the market is, or Amazon here that I'm looking at is selling, right? Would you long this right now? No, it doesn't matter what level this ticker comes into at any point in time. I will not long this ticker. Why? Because it's selling. How do you know it's selling? Because it's selling. You know what I mean? Like this is what you need to learn, right? You can tell it's selling because the market structure, the trending volume, right? We've lost the trend, right? Our volume and price analysis, everything combined says we are selling. You want to learn to actually recognize what state that a ticker is in when it's in the moment. And Atlas and VPA combined can give that idea to you about better than anything else. Like for me, right now, my buying and selling detector, which is a VPA device, basically can tell whether or not we're buying or selling, right? It shows that we are VPA wise, we are very much offering to the sell side right now. Right. So that combined with having a relatively, all of our microstructure being to the downside at 229 makes me feel pretty good about being short in this position right now. My target's right around pre-market low. I lost my first try. So I'm on my second one now. So here's the trade itself. The first one I went long after it wicked up near R3 and came back down. I went short and then it came up and closed. And then it immediately started offering and it took me out. My stop was right above R3. When it took me out, it made an isolated pivot. And then when it made let me widen this a little bit. When it took me out, it made an isolated pivot, which is my favorite entry signal. And I entered and threw my stop above the quartered increment. So I always put my stops on the other side of an institutional number. So this is 231. I picked 26 because they would have had to have bought spot 25 in order to get me. And thank goodness I did that. It just kept me safe, right? So we actually bought 231, but couldn't get enough to buy the next quartered increment. And we failed, re-offered 231 and then started selling. So I'm still in this one. And my target is, it's just a 4-to-1 off of where my spot is, right? So I'm looking for a move down through 229. That'll be my buy. If this rallies up again and takes me out, I'll just be out. Right, I'm not going to try this one again. I'll just consider today. I'll take 2 losers today and I'll be done trading. So, but this one's feeling pretty good right now, right? I'm under trend now, right? My microstructure, still fits the sell. Now look what's happening to our macro structure though. We're getting a lot of orders to the top side now, right? Look at these big limits, right, to the top side. We are getting a ton of orders in here, right? So we have to be careful, but remember, it's not just about the macro structure, it's about the microstructure. We're missing ladder. We can't get through those orders, right? So right now, it still looks more likely that we will run out 229, right? Because we're lacking structure to 230. Even if 230 was of similar size, we would move towards 229 because that is the direction of our microstructure. It's the first one. I talked with a market maker buddy of mine, Nathan, over the week. I was at the Money Show, and I spent a little time traveling through NYC, and I was in Newark for a night, and I was talking to him a little bit, and he kind of explained it to me in that way, as macro versus microstructure. I really liked that, so I thought I would bring that to the table today.
No, I mean, when I talk about, even looking at like the spread, the bid and the ask, I talk about that as micro highs and lows. I mean, still, even when you're looking at the order book and looking at Atlas, a lot of times, even just those tops of the bid or bottoms of the bid and tops of the ask, those set up a lot like the aggregated data on your 1 minute chart, your highs on your 1, 5, and 15. And so, yeah, I've always kind of looked at, micro and then even macro into the whole order book. So I mean, it's that's kind of, though, when you're looking at the micro, that's kind of when stuff kind of gets more advanced, and really trying to know and understanding what's going on and what you're doing.
Right, because that's best representation of your short-term directionality is going to be in the microstructure.
Yeah. What did you see for futures? We have that 25 cent level now.
We sure do. We have the 20. We got the quartered increment, so pretty. So for those of you who are not aware, why would you do that? Come back. Yay. For those of you who are unaware, Atlas is now supporting futures. Right, so you can actually use, and so we've added the 25 level aggregate, so we can basically see every point value on Atlas, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, or you can use the full aggregate just see each particular level. So it's pretty fun. can see the order structure up here. We're still goofing around with it, getting our favorite configs in place, trying to figure out exactly how we like it. I like that we've added this lower and upper cutoff, which is kind of cool.
I'm trying to get a video out today with a process to show everybody how to use that to dial in that color scale in the heat map and kind of what I'm seeing
right
that
now?
each one does. I have it set on about 95, 96 for the upper. And then the lower cutoff, usually try to leave that at 0. And then that sensitivity, I'll throw that all the way over to the left. And then just use that right arrow to bring it over and see when those large orders really start to pop out on that warmer color scale. So yeah, just start moving that over. And you'll see that largest order starts to turn red. And then when that next largest starts to turn orange, that's where you kind of want to stop and settle. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there on 9. Either 9 or 1 looks good. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
looking a lot
that
better. It's bringing those larger orders back into that warmer side of that color scale. So,
That's
I got the process almost dialed in. So I'm hoping to have that out later today.
So someone's asking, do the stop loss orders show up in the order book? So not necessarily. They can show as
Level
a
3.
limit order, but this would be a level 3 order. So very few of you are. Now there are certain subscription methods on certain books where you can get level 3 data, but in this instance you would be talking about level 3. Right? Very few DOMs give you level 3 access. So like if you're using DAS, for instance, you are not going to get level 3 in DAS.
No.
Right? So you're just getting level 2. Right? Level 3 actually lets you see the orders that are not on the book that are still like otherwise electronically engaged with the market. Right? So because basically what happens, just so you know kind of the back end, when you go to put an order on, it goes into what's called a pending status, right? So it's basically like holding your hand out for a handshake, right? Like they can see that your hand is being out for the handshake because you've got a pending order that you've sent. It has a very specific flag code that says I got something coming, right? So they know you're there and they know basically what you have going on, but it is not an order. So if you're looking at level 2, you will not see it because it's not an order that's actually on the book. It is just like, it's just the potential to do an order there, which you would need level 3 for. Does that make sense, Valvad?
Yeah, it's just kind of the information that the people pay a lot of money to get. That's kind of that level 3 with that stop data and that stop information, so you can see those orders in there.
ES looks like it's starting to sell, which is going to help my Amazon out.
Yeah,
Let's go back to
Amazon.
Amazon.
It's making its way down there.
But I mean, our microstructure still suggests we sell. And look here, we're actually, oh, well, we didn't right there. Well, never mind. We were doing it. I was saying all of our major orders were being put onto the bid also. Like there we came up and we actually got the ask right there. Look at them buying the ask right there. But like right here, we were all under. It still looks like we're going to sell. Like see how the microstructure is 229.30 here, but up here, look how lean it is, right? There's no orders up there. It does not look like we're going to go up. It looks like we're going to go down to 229, but maybe not much lower, right? Because we're starting to thin out below 229, but it still seems like we want 229, and that would be good for me. That'd be very good for me because as you can see, I'm sitting right here. So this is one of those things. So question for some of those traders out there when you're putting your system together. How important is it to you to hit the maximum value of your winner if you know that the winner is on the other side of a large institutional order? Right? This is something that you should keep an eye on and see how often you don't get your targets, because if you notice that you're not hitting your targets a lot, look for this as a possible reason. right? So you may want to say, like in this instance, okay, maybe I don't get 4R, right? If I hit this 228.86 number, maybe I only get 3.8R, but you go and pull in front of 229, so you get what's called fill priority, right? Because you're in the way of that order. It has to fill you in order to get to the big order, which they will likely go test the big order. But if they exhaust the sellers when they try to go for 229, they won't go through it, and they'll wick away and come back to 230, because that's the next largest order. Like if we start rallying, we will go to 229.50, then 230, right? Because those are where our big institutional orders are, right? So 229.50 and then 230. See where the price turned? Right in front of 230, right? This stuff is not magic, right? We're just moving up and down between price levels. So if you want to know where we're going to turn around at, or where we're going to continue from, just look at the order book. 230, 229. There's our bottom of our range. There's the top of our range right now. It's from here to here. Right now we're trying to trend. We've made a new, now this is an interesting day. We're in a very large statistical variation today. Right? We actually made a new high of day after 10:30 and then sold through the low of day. So on Amazon, this is probably like a 20 or a 30% percentile day. You know what I mean? So we'll see on this day, because we broke the high of day, there is actually some potential. We still close on this side of the chart. So we'll have to see how it goes. See what I mean? We ran out of that downside ladder. No microstructure under 229, so we're squeezing a little bit. We need more buyers under the price.
Stone, when you're talking about, bouncing off an iceberg order, that's really when you need to look at the VPA and what's going on. Are we bouncing off because we're selling and hitting it? Maybe it's a Camarillo pivot, a large area we'd expect the seller, or as we still push into it, we're still getting a lot of buying, or maybe we're exhausted through the buying. It's just kind of also looking at the VPA and what's going on there and how that is interacting with the iceberg. Do we need to pull back? If you have one to the top side, do we need to pull back to find a buyer and then get that momentum to push through that iceberg? But it's really going to depend a lot on that VPA and how that VPA is coming in with the price action.
100%. So one of the things you can do to kind of help with this, so for those of you who are having trouble reading on futures, so this is why Nathan's kind of working on getting it cleaned up in Atlas a little bit. But like right now, you can see these large orders to the downside, right? Are very, very pretty big, but notice those orders, how they shift. So these orders are not the orders I'm really very interested in. These big, deep, dark ones here, right? So now what I can do to help with that is you can actually cut your upper off a little bit and come down until you get rid of those orders. You can modify.
When I was using Bootmap, I was generally around that upper cutoff of like 95, 96%. So, and now I'm the sensitivity scale should actually be called more intensity. That's more of the intensity that it brings in that warmer side of the heat map. That's what I'm really trying to figure out how to teach you guys how to balance that out. That's kind of what I'm focusing on.
The order you're paying attention to are the orders that don't move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then getting those smaller orders out of the way with that lower cutoff. So then those bigger orders, really pop out on the heat map.
Like, don't focus on these weird orders that are oscillating. These are just bracketing orders that the ES uses to confuse the order book.
Yep. Yeah,
so these are literally bracketing
others.
algos they're NITF orders that literally will just bracket up and down. So right now we don't have very much structure to the, we're kind of, we're a bit leaning out to the top side a little bit. We've got lots of big orders on the ES to the downside. We've really only got like maybe 2 or 3 to the top side, but our microstructure is better to the top side on ES. So right now ES looks like it's rallying for here. right? But after it hits this order, there's not going to be anything left to the top side. So if it can find enough buyers for this order, this would likely be a very solid reversal point, unless we see more orders build into the top side of the book.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, the upper and lower cutoffs. It's just going to help. It's really going to help.
For me, this is bearish. Like all of our bigger, more stable orders are all to the downside. So for me, oh look, we just lost it. Oh, it came back, but we lost it for a minute. The algo completely abandoned this level up here for a second and put it back. That's interesting. All right, come on, Amazon. We're getting there, man. So for anyone who came to the Trading Terminal webinar last night, I did these 3 basic golden, rules or concepts for reading order flow using a visual order book. So I thought it would be fun today to kind of continue on that, which is what we've been doing. So I hope now that we're in a live market, for those of you who went, you can see kind of pure examples of what I was talking about in that. I get nervous near my take profit stops. So Pig Wrestler, this is a real thing, okay? So this is what happens, all right? I got to put myself in the right spot. When it's called anticipatory, I don't know the real term. It's called it's anticipatory winning. Have you ever seen a marathon where the person who is in first place slows down their pace, throws their arms up, and then has someone run past them and take the finish line? Have you ever seen something like that happen? Why on earth would a professional runner stop pressing 5 feet away from the finish line? And it's because they actually start to anticipate the feeling of the win. Now, because you're anticipating the feeling of the win, you actually start to live within that moment, right? I am a winner. I'm about to be a winner. But then all of a sudden, the finish line starts to get pulled further away from you, right? And you now know, and you now realize that I was very close to being a winner, but now I may not be. But you've already taken on the emotion of someone who has won, right? So this isn't about money. This is about winning, Pig. If it was about money, you wouldn't do it. Right? It's not. So you have to ask yourself what's more important, winning or making money? Because believe it or not, Pig Wrestler, you are not a winner. You're a loser, right? I'm a loser. Nathan's a loser, right? We're all professional losers. It's what we do for a living, right? We sit down every single day and we lose over and over and over and over again. And then we win. And when we win, we make more money than we lost when we were losing. And that's how we win. Best loser wins. Tom Hoger. If you have not read it, read it. Okay, read it. If you've not read it, read it. Right? Check that thing out. So behavioral slippage, Pig, is not the money you lose. It's the money you never make. Right? For most of you out here, if you're not losing money in the stock market, you are actually pretty stinking good at this. If you weren't, you would be losing money. The fact that you're green, the fact that you're just barely bleeding means you know some stuff. It means you're so close to making money in this, you can't even understand. But because you take your profit early, because you hold your loss too long, because your loss is too big compared to your profit, right? You don't make money, right? Trading is a game of attrition where the best loser wins. So you need to ask yourself in this moment, every time you get near taking that profit, you need to talk to yourself. You need to actually get inside of that discomfort. Pig, if you have trouble conquering that, work with my esteemed colleague, Dr. V. You know what I mean? Go, send her a message on IG, get her calendar link. She does mentoring just like I do. Go talk with a professional trader, a trading psychologist, and someone who really knows how to handle anxiety. You know what I mean? Because you're having performance anxiety, right? You're right near the win and you're pulling away and you're stabbing yourself in the foot right before you get to the finish line, right? And who cares? Like, let's say this Amazon trade comes all the way against me right now. It got so close to my winner and it stops me out. Who cares? Right? It's not a reflection on me as a person, right? It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not a reflection of you as a human being or a reflection of your competency. Look, when I got into this trade, it was a great idea. I have no idea what's going to happen after I get in, and I take no ownership of whatever happens after I get in. All I can do is have the best entry possible according to my methodology, and as long as that is intact, I'm a winner. Right? Redefine what it means to have a green day. A green day is a day you did everything you were supposed to do the way you were supposed to do it. And trust me, rewire your experience, right? Next time, and I don't know if you've heard of what's called exposure therapy, Pig. We got to do it, buddy. Next time you get near that place, next time you get near that location, you better get your hands off the mouse. And I just want you to sit there in it, stare at it, and take it like a man. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for all the women in here too. Take it like a woman. You know what I mean? Take it like who you are and like sit there and go, you know what? I can be uncomfortable. Because guess what? Trading's uncomfortable. So you better get comfortable with that. Good.
Yeah, I mean,
soapbox.
go. Well, it's a great time to go meditate. Just kind of delve into where is this feeling coming from? Like, what's going on with me? And, just really spending time with it. I was talking to a mentee yesterday, like trading will make you a better person. Like flat out, it will, because you're going to be forced to deal with things that you don't want to deal with, you don't want to look at, and you're going to be forced, you're going to have to. You're going to have to deal with them, you're going to have to overcome them, or you're not going to be successful. It's just the way it is. It's just the way this profession is.
It sure is. And honestly, like something AKA Tura is saying in here, if I wasn't on a YouTube show with you right now, you know what I would not be doing? Sitting at this computer. This trade would just be on. It would have a bracket on. I only take 2 trades a day, maybe 3 trades a day. Right? So this one would just be on a bracket and I'd be off doing my stuff. Right? There's no reason I need to torture myself by staring at this position. Right? And that may be the thing, because I'm telling you, folks, the one thing you don't want to do, and this is what you're messing up here, is you're only going to truncate your downside. You know what I mean? So you only lose 1 R. So what? You only make 2 R and you have a 30% hit rate. You cannot be profitable like that. It's impossible. Right? You have to have you have to be winning the attritional battle, right? If you're going to have a 2-to-1 hit rate, if you're going to go 2-to-1, you're going to need to run an 80 plus, 90 plus hit rate to actually be profitable in any way that's meaningful, unless you have a massive account. And if you have that massive an account, I don't know why you're doing this. Like, just retire. You know what I mean? Go buy an island or something and, and enjoy yourself. Get a boat and invite me. Like it's just not necessary. Like, what are you, a workaholic? I mean, your account's that big, like go to bed. Leave some money for the rest of us. So, but, but you're just never going to do it. You know what I mean? You have to be able to get 3 Rs, 4 Rs, 8 Rs. You got to be able to get like real money out of your trades, right? For real. It seems like it, Chris. Sorry, man. Jeez. Buy a boat in Venezuela. This sounds fun. I want to buy a house in Venezuela. I need some more houses.
You need more houses.
Yes.
Come buy one out here by me in our neighborhood. And
my win rate oscillates between 40% and 70%, depending on the month, the cycle. So I rarely run below 40%. I rarely run over 70. No, so you don't have to have a big account, Stone. You have to have a big account if you're going to highly leverage and partial a lot. Right? But you can make a lot of money on Tesla with a very small account if you take one entry and one exit and you hold your position most of the day. Right? You can do all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? But you have to be, but it's different. Right? It's so for me, I it's just really important to cap my downside, right? I never want to lose more than $500 in a trade. It doesn't mean I have to lose $500, right? Sometimes I'll get into a trade and for the amount of shares I'm taking in 500, I can run much, much tighter. So I maybe only need to risk 250, right? But I never risk more than 500. But on my average trade, I'm going to go for 2K because that's 4-to-1 off my max risk. I always want to at least cover enough to cover my max risk. But now if I'm in a narrow range, we're breaking the low, am I willing to pull that out to go for 8R or 10R? Sure. Well, what happens if it comes back and he loses the trade? Who cares? It only needs to work like once every so often and you're done. You know what I mean? So it's like on this Amazon one, after even the talk, someone was like, at least move your stop to break even. Why? Why break even? It doesn't work very well.
That'd be a good time to cue us up for the close. I've got to.
So speaking of break even, we're going to be moving this show to break even immediately. So I hope everybody has had a fantastic week with us here. I hope you've enjoyed both Peter and I, which means you have gotten more soapboxing in 1 week than you could possibly have imagined coming to you. Next week, maybe less soapboxing, although not likely. I really appreciate you all. We appreciate you all. Nathan, my brother,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me per usual. We're going to see if we get this melt here on Amazon, but otherwise, much love to everybody out there. Thanks for participating in today's giveaway. Have a great one and keep it green.
All right. See you guys. Have a great one.